that red notebook back there. Tune in, tune in, tune in. The Black Care Party presents the Real Talk Show, where we talk about friendship, love, and purpose. Friendship has everything to do with aura. Love is more, and purpose is about saving time. I am JRX36, and this is an All Ages Alliance production. On tonight's show, what are we talking about? Loyalty. To what extent shall 1, 2, 3, 4, shall you be loyal to a friend? What are the boundaries to loyalty? Is there such thing as boundaries when you speak of loyalty? We'll just freestyle it and see where we land at on tonight's topic. Now, as we come to some understanding, we'll go ahead and open it up with a track so I could sip on some gin and juice. So I could sip on my kombucha. And then we'll get straight to it. And of course, we're either going with D Steezy or Prince 8888888. So let's go with Prince 8 production. You got me like.
You be up and down, you be running around. I get how I elevate, never wanna touch the ground. Really wanna paper chase, really hope you settle down. I wanna let it be a race, I just wanna be around. Making cats don't make a sound. I just wanna love you when you break it down. Got her ass up and her face down. You got me when they don't wanna run. I just pop these beans, I be living wild. Thinking about you when I'm in the now. Be a rock star, I can make you smile. I be going hard, I'm a love child. Now you got me like, 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 now you got me like.
So that was Prince 8, You Got Me Like, and this is Stuck in a Dream, but we ain't going into that dream right now. We about to get into this conversation about loyalty. Why did I choose loyalty? I don't know. I just thought about it just like a minute ago. All right, so we're gonna go to our one and only friend Google, And we're gonna see what is Google's definition of loyalty. Or when you put in loyalty on Google, what it come up with? Loyalty is a noun, and you shouldn't define the word with the word in the definition. But that's how they started out. The quality of being loyal, a strong feeling of support or allegiance. Loyalty, in general use, is a devotion and faithfulness to a nation, cause, philosophy, country, group, or person. Philosophers disagree on what can be an object of loyalty. And some argue that loyalty is strictly interpersonal and only another human being can be the object of loyalty. Well, I'm not about to argue about nothing. So we're gonna keep on reading. What is the true meaning of loyalty? When you Google the word loyal, the definition is giving or showing firm and constant support or allegiance to a person or institution. Loyalty is genuinely having their best interests at heart and ensuring that relationship is reciprocal. Now, I'm not sure I quite understand what they mean about ensuring that relationship is reciprocal. I'm not sure what that means. Because what if it's not reciprocal? Does your loyalty cease? That's where it gets a bit tricky for me. So I'm gonna just keep it moving. An example of loyalty is how a dog feels about its human. And according to this example, this example is in contradiction, or is an example of the contradiction that philosophers disagree on. Because it says philosophers disagree on what can be an object of loyalty, and some argue that loyalty is strictly interpersonal, and only another human being can be the object of loyalty, not a dog. But we're gonna just keep it reading because we're gonna keep it moving. An example of loyalty is how someone feels about their country, a feeling or attitude of devoted attachment and affection. My loyalties lie with my family, a feeling or attitude of devoted attachment and affection. So it's like loyalty and love kind of like run together. It appears to be. Because loyalty is also a feeling. It could be viewed as a feeling or an attitude. It's almost somewhat of an emotion of devotion, of attachment. And attachment comes from love. That is based on definition or some definitions. My loyalties lie with my family. And we about to just keep it moving, keep it reading. A loyal relationship is sincere. A truly loyal person is always sincere. They show very subtle yet powerful signs that they care. You'll find that they are faithful in a way that they show up during the good times and the bad times. Loyal people are supportive, even loving, for no other reason than that they care. So now we're getting somewhere with this definition of the word loyalty. So there's this bond that exists between two humans. We'll focus on humans for now. We'll leave the dogs and the countries out of it. So it's about a bond or of connection between two humans, and irregardless of sexual intimacy. Sexual intimacy hasn't been brought up in none of these definitions, so I'm gonna keep it out of it. But I am gonna give attention to it briefly, that loyalty can exist between two individuals or more, not necessarily a country, but some people expand it to include a country. But loyalty has something to do with a degree of bond between two individuals, a level of support, for the simple reason that they care. So, but why do they care? What is at the core of this relationship that deems it worthy of having someone become loyal? Okay, what are the 7 character traits? Character traits. What are the 7 character traits? It doesn't say the 7 character traits of loyalty. It just says, what are the 7 character traits? We're gonna skip it. Okay. How do you know a woman is loyal? 11 signs your girlfriend is faithful and not cheating on you. So in this, according to this definition, loyalty is being referred to as someone who's being faithful and not cheating. So now this is within the parameters of a intimate relationship. So I guess Juju about to go in now. Juju's deciding to join the show. He partying back there. So let me go ahead and keep going. So let's entertain the 11 signs that your girlfriend is faithful and not cheating on you. Okay, look, let's give props to the creator. There you see the name. We're gonna just skip to the bold. She always wants to talk and just hang out. I don't know. See, these are gonna be interesting, but I don't even know I want to read them after reading that first one, because that doesn't mean she's loyal. That doesn't mean she's not cheating, because she always wants to talk and just. I mean, I guess I can see where they're going. I see where they're going with it. However, you know, that I wouldn't hold my breath on that. In other words, I wouldn't take it at face value. In other words, that isn't enough for me to reach the conclusion that that is a sign of loyalty. That's just a sign of attachment, which is a sign of love based on the definition. But how about those individuals that feel they have the ability to love more than one person? So that necessarily wouldn't apply. And that would be the whole point of it, is you're trying to figure out if your partner is being intimate, faithful or not. I mean, all right, number 1, she always wants to talk and just hang out. Skip. She introduces you to her friends and family. Well, we're just gonna keep it moving. This list is not a convincing. You're all over her social media account. I get it. She tries to impress you almost all the time. This is kind of elementary. She trusts you with her deepest secrets. You would think. She's constantly and consistently honest. You hear that, Bessie? She sleep. So a sign. Wait a minute. Okay, this is a sign that she's faithful. Okay. She's constantly and consistently honest. I got it. The way she looks at you makes your heart melt. Okay. She focuses on your relationship first. She's there even if you're at your worst. She does her part and she does it well. You'll hear random I love yous every day. This is a whack list. All right, my bad. Let me not disrespect you, Mrs. B. Let's see what the comments got to say. Let's see how the comments feel about this. I dated a girl for 4 years. She stays with me. She was the best, but suddenly she cheated on me with a guy, and I forgive her. we were back again, and she also did the same thing, telling me that because I have not gotten married to her, she had been cheating on me with this guy for 3 years. Our last quarrel lasted for 4 months, and I was about letting the relationship go, and she came to apologize, and I forgave her. After 2 weeks, she still cheated on me with the same guy, and now it's worse. She don't give me attention anymore, and I'm sure her older sister is the one spoiling her. Okay. I love my girlfriend. She is respectful, nice, beautiful, smart, etc. But I have trust issues, and I am moving from my school. I am moving from my school. I have thoughts thinking she is going to leave me, but at the same time, I feel like she won't leave me. What should I do? I don't know what's going on. Are these real? Are these real? I started dating this girl October last year. We were really into each other, texting ourselves every day, calling all the time. Then she did something terrible, cheating on me with some guy. And she told me, and I forgave her, thinking it was a mistake. The next 2 weeks, after trying to get us back, she did it again, and she told me. I did the manly thing by confronting the guy. I was shocked. Why my girlfriend denied to have a boyfriend when the guy asked her. Still, I forgave her. We are dating. She doesn't put my pics on social media or anything. She is constantly in this mood where she gets bored, always telling me she feels sleepy, not wanting to talk. We have not had sex most of the time, but I realize she isn't into me like I thought. Although or we have had sex most of the time, but I realized she isn't into me like I thought. Although it took me a while to figure it out, I just want to know if I'm right to think like this, if breaking up is the right call. Break up? That's quick. Hi, my girlfriend broke up with me about a month ago, and breakup occurred due to my fault. Only, but I do apologize her for a long time. She is telling I will listen what my parents say, and she have changed her number and new phone. And last week I went with my friend to meet her, and when I saw her, I can see her makeup was bright, and I asked her phone number. She refused to give to me, and she have asked her friends to block me, but she is not on social media when we are in a relationship for 3 years. My mind says she will be in another relationship, but our parents know our relationships, and her parents said they don't need me any. What am I reading? Does any of this make sense? I have a lovely relationship, and most of the things you said I have seen in her. But a few days ago, we were talking about nasty stuff that turns us on, like a threesome or having sex with another couple. Just playing a game, we would never do this stuff. And then she said, having sex with another guy when you're not home. I know she loves me, but the thing that she said really worried me. What's going on here? I'm gonna just keep reading it because I just can't believe what I'm reading. Brothers, let me tell you what happens in Islam. There is no fear of infidelity because both of the partners give their souls to the creator of this world. She starts protecting herself from other by wearing a hijab, avoiding handshakes and non-essential stuff. She daily meditates and exercises in Muslim prayer. Her major priority becomes her husband because Allah said, if there is anyone that a woman should obey before his creator is her husband. Allah said in the Quran. She starts fasting so if she stops doing sins in fear that her God will not forgive her if she ever thinks any wrong stuff about another man. You go to vacation in Saudi, the home of Creator, once in a year to revive your beliefs in religion. Brothers, trust me, I can give you 100% working formula for your marriage based on best religion in which women have zero infidelity rate. I'm gonna just keep reading. There's no comments. No comment. I'm gonna keep reading. Okay, so I love my girlfriend, but it's like every time we talk or something, she's always talking about Annan, and she's making friends with new guys, and I'm like hardcore in love with her, but it feels like she never loves me the same. D Steezy. I'm just reading. I'm reading on some forum about 11 signs that your girlfriend is being faithful. And I'm just reading through the comments, kind of like in disbelief of some of the stuff people talking about. I'll read a few more and then we could chat it up a little bit. Being in love is quite different from being faithful. Some girls can love you and still cheat on you for no reasons or for reasons best known to them. People, please help. Hi, is this a big deal in what I do? And what do I do? Situation, my girlfriend who currently lives with me has complete utter control. I pay for everything in her life and she gets to pay down debt. Granted, I am retired and have been for 4 years. I have some debt and I do well enough not to really worry about money. Besides the point, I have discovered that my girlfriend went to dinner with somebody at somebody's house who was an ex-couple's lovers. She told me about the dinner and she never told me that they were ex-lovers. She has told me before that she won't tell me about any of her ex-lovers. She has a commitment not, and she says her past is her past. With all that said, I found out that she went over to their house and had a dinner. She insists she is faithful and integrity means everything to her, as she says. What do I do? This is all mine to carry. And how do I approach this without making her wrong? And do I approach this at all? Look, I'm gonna stop reading this. D Steezy, basically, I had opened up the show talking about your favorite word, loyalty. Um, just kind of going through Google, seeing what Google talking about. Read the definition, a strong feeling of support or allegiance. Read this little sidebar here. Loyalty in general is a devotion and faithfulness to a nation, cause, philosophy, country, group, or person. Philosophers disagree on what can be an object of loyalty, and some argue that loyalty is strictly interpersonal and only another human can be the object of loyalty. So I was just going through it. What's good, D Stacy? You on mute.
Give me oh, can you put the link in the chat so I can see like some of those, comments you was reading?
All right, so let me see where. Right, I'll find it. Hold up. Hmm. Hmm. All right, I'm trying to find it for whatever reason. Let me see. Okay, I went down this road. Let's see. What are the characteristics? Let me see if I can back my way into it. Okay.
Other than that, I know it came out. I have got this like cauliflower pizza with all roasted veggies. It got cheese on it, so I got some mozzarella sticks. But
Okay, here we go. Here we go. I found it. Yeah, so this is the article, and I didn't, look, yeah, we'll just go through it. So I wasn't trying to read like through the paragraphs. I was just reading the first main sentence bold, and we can go ahead and go through it. So the first one is, she always wants to talk and just hang out. So that's a sign of her being faithful. How do you receive that? What you get when you hear that?
I mean, I think, well, it could for sure be a sign, and I say it's a sign because that's always some. I feel like some people call the honeymoon phase. I've been around somebody like that, just talking and hanging out. I mean, it led to something else, but at the end of the day, you feel me? That last sentence right there, she'll never get tired of being with you, exploring places, and just having a great time. I think that's also assuming that it is a monogamous, committed relationship, right? I feel like you could date somebody and that could happen, but then that could shift. You know what I mean? And you could be a homegirl. So it is referencing like a romantic relationship, but that might not be the vibe. It could be the vibe for the moment, and you can still do those things afterwards, right? So, but in terms of monogamy, I think that's a hard one to really kind of like, process sometimes because, if me and somebody's together all the time, it's not even really about being faithful or cheating on each other, right? Like we don't have time to entertain nothing else. We don't have time to pick up the phone. Or keep it 100, you can still be picking up that phone, but just not at the times we together. You know what I mean? And not insinuating someone is cheating or someone has the notion or to cheat, just saying like you can't put it past nobody, but I feel like that's an insecurity. At the end of the day, if I gotta think you cheating and think you moving, I've been in situations like that too. But something in me was like, I wondered what was going on the phone. But then also I was like, that ain't for me. Like it could be Pandora's box. I ain't tripping on Pandora's box. I'd rather know than not know. Like, you know what I mean? Anything. Like, because in terms of loyalty, for me, that's what it is. I don't care what it is. You could have told me you cheated on me 2 hours before we kissed. Like, you know what I mean? Like 5 minutes ago, right? I could have been like, damn, your breath is fun. I don't even know what this is. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm serious, right? But I think I would appreciate the fact you said that. After that, I would have hoped you wouldn't have did that. It did kiss me, but like I'm just saying, like in the terms of not knowing, I'd rather know. And because not knowing, like because I don't know isn't gonna guide anything, and because I know isn't gonna guide anything in the moment.
What was the last part?
Because I don't know what's happening isn't going to guide anything, and because I do know, because you finally tell me, isn't going to guide anything. And I say that like when it comes to like being transparent and open, I feel like you don't have to hold nothing back. You don't get to determine what's going to hurt me or not. You feel me? Like it's gonna sting. Like I'm the type of person that's gonna sting. It's gonna suck. I might go in the corner, heartbreak. I might not display it in this moment. I might be able. I'll more likely go off in the corner somewhere, and do my own thing to get over whatever the hell happened. But I'm not gonna present that in the moment because if the other person does that, for me, it allows me to want to do that. You know what I mean? But if it's like, oh, I'm not gonna tell you this because it's gonna hurt your feelings, but you rocking with me all the time. That's weird. That's weird to me. Like, I don't care what it is. It could be about sex. It could be about like the way we talk to each other. It could be the way I walk, the way I smell. Nah, I don't want to hurt your feelings. It's bad. Like, what are you talking about? Like, we're in partnership. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how more vulnerable and transparent and open can you be by just telling me something that you thought or know is gonna hurt my feelings? Like, let me be the judge of that. Let me own that, right?
Yeah,
So I
because
think,
the situation's much more fuller than just the news, right?
yeah,
It's about what's the other person's intentions or thoughts about it. Like what are the other? There's like more variables that go into play than just that one piece of information.
yeah. And it can, you're right, it can go deeper, but I'm just gonna stick on the fact, transparency and openness. I don't give a damn if like it was at your worst, darkest time and you thought about this shit about me and you told me, or like, you know, you just like, like all that is there, but that ain't gonna be my areas of focus at all because it's not needed. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really gonna sit there and be like, damn, this person really wanted to kill me, like, because I said I like cheese and not like air. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would I sit there and like just go down a rabbit hole with that? Where I think my rabbit hole needs to be like communication. Like, you know what I mean? But you know, that's what came up for that. Like, we talking all the time, we chilling all the time. You know, that could change in the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And again, that's why I keep third person in a lot of this shit or second person in a lot of this shit, because it's like, I want that shit. Like, you know what I mean? So, but it makes sense. All that to say, it makes sense. But like, I think there's other variables and factors in there that could like.
Yeah. So when I read the list, I found myself kind of like feeling negative about it. Like it was too basic, or and after you talked about the maybe this is like a monogamous type, but even then it kind of like people, I know of people that follow all this and they still quote unquote cheating, you know, like,
Yeah.
so but I think this is like, look, and I don't want to down the person who wrote it or whatever, because it's, but this seems to be very surface level, and obviously it does make sense, right? Like, she introduces you to her friends and family, but do you know how many people I know who cheated on someone that knew the family, like, and cheated with family, but with the family of the person that they with, you know? But I guess like this seems very, I want to say beginner, like good information like that you would tell someone who's beginning to date. But I would caution anyone that's dating that just because they can check all this off the list, that doesn't mean that that's not happening. But I would encourage them to have a deeper conversation, which is the conversation that we are having now, or that we're about to have, about what does it even really mean, right? Like, what does it even really mean to be faithful? You know what, like, because I guess this comes up under loyalty, right? So like, how does someone wanting to talk to you and just wanting to hang out reflect loyalty? Because I don't think it does. Like, it's not like, because you could hang out and talk to someone, you know, every day, and it doesn't really mean that they're loyal, right? Like, and boom, you got a track on. Let me see if I remember. You got a track. One of your tracks is talking about how you was hanging with some people and they was being fake. Which one was it?
That's I'm Bleeding, the second half.
Let's take a quick intermission. Go ahead, talk over it. Introduce it.
This is one of my favorite records. I'm Bleeding off the Rona project. Talk about my history with gun violence and just fake friends, you know.
Domino, my big bro, so shout out to City. I used to walk around like bullets couldn't hit me until I'm 28 in Norton when I got caught slipping. Rumor on the streets was the patch that I was snitching. Rumor on the streets it was the chicks that I was hitting. You should have seen me easy and how the bullets hit them. I sent the text the same night and niggas ended up missing. The feds might get a hold of this and think that I'm snitching, but this a true story and I'm asking for forgiveness. Cause when I go to sleep, my cold sweats have me tripping, and my nightmares in my sleep seem like they never ending. Then I wake up and have to fight the same demons. So don't you dare test me. If you want it, you can get it. Coming where I'm from, it's survival of the fittest. Los Angeles, California, West Side of Historic District.
Funny is I wrote this. OT, the order this is in is like the order I wrote it in.
And these niggas,
No lie.
you know, they act like they was there, but they
Like,
wasn't. So, you know.
I wrote those beats for the song.
Yeah.
When I knew that y'all couldn't. Niggas be full of lies and niggas be fronting, claiming they real niggas when I knew that they wasn't. Moral of the story, beware of niggas you trusting. A lot of talking out their neck and no guns busting. Do anything for respect for the bitches they fucking and still come around and want the same homies that love them. Be acting like they never heard of loyalty or something.
Right.
Be acting like they really important, but they nothing. Be acting like they really about that life, but they be bluffing. Be acting like they going out, but never seen them public. This verse is dedicated to them niggas who be ducking, and all the chicken heads who be running around plucking. To all the ballin' niggas that be really on the budget, and all the solid niggas who crack in front of judges. Don't be mad at me. I'm just speaking the truth.
I respect that you brought that up.
What was that?
I said I respect that you brought that up in this conversation because that was the epitome to me. Loyalty amongst friends and loyalty in relationship, which I know we're talking about partner relationship.
Nah, but you know how it's the same. Like that. That's kind of what you're bringing up and what I'm vibing with. Like, there's a thin line or no line between friendship and like love.
Yeah,
You know.
and that's where I was. That's where exactly I'm getting. Like you nailed it right on his head because like, at the end of the day, like I have no problem, you know, with what he said, trying to do something for the bitches to fucking like. I have no problem for any dude, any woman, any homegirl, with any dude, any homie with any woman or they them. It could be gender neutral. I'm not tripping on anybody in their partnership. What I was talking about is being fake in our friendship, right? Our partnership, our homeboy, our whatever we are. And you denying the fact that you in a relationship is on the spectrum. That's what we do in our conversations, on the spectrum. No matter how much you put this person high up or low on the totem pole, you win one, right? And it's like I was saying, like people act like they don't be pillow talking that night. Is it really, if it's that easy to just take something down, let me know so I can just be out here just knocking them back, just because I can knock them back. Let's just look in our eyes, 2 seconds, and let's go do the thing, and then don't see each other no more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you knock it down more than 2 times, once, you know, half, I don't even know how that look like. I feel like there's intimacy there. There's a relationship that's been built. And so when I that reference was just simply saying like, you being weird with me, right? For some female anatomy, or try to you know keep it clean sometimes. You know what I'm saying? For Pandora's box, you feel me? For the universes, like, you know, the where they bring life into the world, like you playing me because that's what you want, but at the same time you talking like you off this, like you ain't even messing with her, like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I ain't never did you wrong, you never had to lie to me about it, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you might not be in love, but like there's something there, like, you know what I mean? So why you downplaying the fact that you done did this more than once, right? And then like you trying to down, but I know you running over there because I'm a dude. Like I would love to just like 2, 3, 4, 5 of them just like, yo, I'm crying. Like, I need you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. Like, if we got it, we're gonna do it, right? And so in terms of like loyalty and how we speaking on it, that's just where I was coming from. Like, and then you want to be fake and act like you hard. And that's my thing. Like, you don't gotta be hard all the time. Like, I be, man, when I get to
That
cry,
applies for intimate relationship too. And then the way hard looks in the intimate relationship is basically like fronting, like acting like it ain't going on, like putting on this different persona, you know.
and it go vice versa. Like I was saying, like women the same way. Like, you know, I gotta think about it too. Like in loyalty, in retrospect to how we talking about it, right? Like, I'm kicking it with you whenever I want to. I'm a dude. I got my own car. I got my own house. I got a stable job. I got my own apartment. Excuse me, because it ain't a house. You can spend it out as much as you want. You can go in that refrigerator, eat whatever the fuck. This is my crib. And you know what? I want you to be as comfortable as ever. If we vibing right now. The moment we ain't vibing, you can take your stuff and go on your own accord. I ain't gonna never put nobody out. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm 32. Like, and most people still live with their parents or they solo and alone. Like, I'm good. I'm not tripping. I enjoy the company. Like, you know what I mean? All day, every day. But if it ain't what you want, then it's not, I have no control over that. I'm gonna introduce you to the homies. Everybody, like, because that's me. And so when people see that, they like, oh shit, it's the reason why he rocking with that person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we understand him, we know him. And if he got somebody, oh wait, let me not say, because I don't want to be like possessive. If he's with somebody, then like, shit, like that's obviously somebody important.
But let's talk about that, because see, like that's one of my issues with monogamous relationships. Like, I don't want to feel possessed. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of my, that's, and then they call it like being a commitment phobe or whatever. Like, society or individuals in society or politically correctness would try to make me feel bad for wanting to reject being like that having that possession element to the relationship. Like, it's not a real relationship unless there's some sort of possession. And I don't think that's cool. Like, I don't want to be nobody's possessions. I don't want to, you know, and I can appreciate you being sensitive to that word, but it appears that possession almost is synonymous with a committed relationship. At least the way that I've been able to see it. And it's possible that in other circles that you're more familiar with, like maybe polyamory or whatever, maybe possession takes on a different tone or something. I don't know. But I know that for me, that's been one of my biggest things, is like, I don't want to feel possessed. And I've said it just like that. Like, I don't want to feel possessed. I want to still be able to feel free, you know, free to choose.
So my challenge to you will always be at this point, just one day allow yourself to be possessed, like own, right? But hold on, let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why?
I'm with you. Go ahead.
So first off, like, I appreciate what you said,
Yeah.
and then I think for a person of your nature who holds this space and is the host this container like nightly, right? Even right now, I hopped on you doing your thing. I'm like, fuck, like, yo, can you try to go back right quick? Like, because I was listening to you and like the fact that you moving forward even on your own. Already, I've been on your head. Like, I know you capturing data and doing some shit. Like, you know what I mean? So I was like, damn, I just came in and like, you know, I know he up to no good with this right now. And there's a reason why he doing this, is he's capturing. A lot of people don't capture their own data and research, and you capturing that shit. And I appreciate that. So
real quick, I was just thinking earlier, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna really enjoy watching all these from start to finish because it's like I'm gonna get to see a moment in time consecutive of like just dope conversation, like addressing topics that have been important to me or on my mind. I think it's dope to like have the record of it, you know. And I appreciate you being on it. Like, my children are gonna watch, my children's children, you know, that are interested are gonna check this out. You know what I mean? I look forward to that. That motivates me.
You should be able to pitch this to like Diddy, Tyler Perry, somebody, like, because it's a different, and didn't have an actual studio set up, because it's just it's on its own thing, you know what I'm saying? And it need resources. And I wouldn't let you keep doing it this way, because it makes sense to, but it doesn't make sense to, because like we deep dive. And so with that being said, like, we got to talk about the historical context of monogamy, and we got to tie that thing, like you said, with possession and motherfucking religion. And gotta
God, right now we talking about property, right? Property.
And because it's religious doesn't mean it's property, like, right? It's a conditioning. Property came with that marriage, like, you feel me, and ownership. But we still gotta go back further, right? And the further we go back, it comes with religion, right? And we ain't gonna like, nah. We're gonna go colonialism. We gotta go there. Because when they came over here and they saw that this was a matriarchal society, right? And women with their chest, they didn't know what to fucking do. When the women identified folks, or the what they call it, three-spirited folks, had like multiple partners, when you and I was doing the cooking, the cleaning, you know what I mean? And they was building and doing everything, like, and they was just laying back doing their thing, and they was ruling over us. They didn't know what to do with that shit. They didn't know what to do with our people having multiple relationships, multiple families, multiple children. You know what I mean? It didn't fit that religious
narrative
construct they had.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh.
But now when we gotta push that. Like, our brain can't even fathom the fact that women is walking out here with their chest out. Our brain can't even fathom that people have multiple partners, polyamorous relationships, and they thriving. Like, their brains couldn't even fathom this shit. You know what I mean? And so,
put some clothes on.
Yeah, like, you got to be real with it. So I say that because I know we get to talking about monogamous shit, and then like we try to, you know, be inclusive and open it up and try to like dissect it, you know, on a polyamorous tip, or you know. But sometimes I feel like we need to hone in on that historical context part, because then it'll segue and support us and just having a dialogue, because the educational piece and the content is there, and sometimes we just forget it. Oh, we don't forget it, we just don't really talk about this shit, because it's just like, it just never passes our mind. But as we were speaking, that's what came up for me. It's like, damn, you're right, possession. And that's why I was like, yo, I just, like, as soon as you said that, I was like, oh shit. Like, why does he feel that way? Like, because I don't like titles either. But I don't like titles because I feel like people want to be possessive. But now I'm realizing that I actually want to be owned. And I don't say that in a sense of like, I think the way you and I are perceiving it to be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm realizing now I want a woman, or that's gonna be like, like, your homeboy's gotta go. You know what I mean? I'm an alpha. It's weird. I need an alpha. You know what I mean? And I need that alpha. That alpha gonna be able to like throw water on the fire and put it out sometimes, because I know I'm very strong and very passionate. Not saying she gotta be one up on me, but like, if I'm gonna listen, that's because you came at me correct. Not because sometimes like you're just like, oh baby, you know, you need to calm down. Like, nah, like I need her to be like, you are my dude. Don't go out there and do no dumb shit. Bring your ass home. Or you my dude. I said that's cool. Now you start doing extra shit, I got a problem. You know what I mean? Like, the sense of like a true partnership with somebody, I feel like that's cool in terms of like being obsessive or being possessive over them, like, right? As long as there's this mutual understanding of like, we got us, right? Because polyamory is like, we got us, but then I don't know if I could. It's weird. So even with my friends, I feel like I got y'all. I can't count on y'all all to have me. And I conditioned myself to be okay with that shit. And so in my mind, I don't feel that I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe, right? To be like, you got me, I got you, you got me, or we all got each other. I don't know. I just feel like there's room for error there, but that's just my perception of how I feel about it. Like, you know what I mean? But I think I'm with you still on possession and not wanting to feel like you're owned, right? I really feel you on that. But I think in love and loyalty in the way, what I'm trying to do is reimagine it that's beneficial to like what I would like in terms of a love language, or what I would need or what I would want in terms of a love language with that. Because I think like a cheerleader, so to speak, or somebody that just know what they got. Like, I think that's okay if I reframed it for that for myself. Like, you know, you my nigga. Like, there's a difference between saying like, you know, you my nigga. Like not like I'm in trouble, but like, you know, you mine. Like, what's up? Like, you know,
Yeah,
I think that's different.
I'm hearing you. Like, I've been recently in a situation where I used to call myself the housewife. Like, I'm the housewife, and it's not bad at all. I really enjoyed it, actually.
About to say, that's love right there. Real shit.
Like, you know, I like being in the house, like, you know, and she likes being outside the house because is, you know, the children could be challenging. You know, we got children that could be like trying to raise children in today's era. I don't know. I want to say it's different. But then again, I could also just say that our parents were very strict and maybe abusive. And I don't mean it as a diss. Like, I'm just coming from like my perspective. Like, you know, I believe that children's voice are equally important to adult voices. And I feel that the older generation really disrespected the children to the point where it's abusive. Like, they use power, you know, like they use their tone of voice, they use physical violence in order to get the children to do what they want so that their life could be more comfortable. And I'm not saying that my mom did that, but I'm saying that I observed this in the past generation and even in this generation. But this generation, I think a lot of the people that are in our age range that have children, they're much more understanding of the children, or they give the children some more space to express themselves. Whereas I don't know that it's always been that way. And it might be a cultural thing as well. Like, I know there's a shift.
Yeah, like what you name it again, like, excuse me for interjecting.
No, go ahead. We talking, go ahead.
With it. That historical context. They start breaking that generational curse. You see what I'm saying? They were stirring with us in a way because that's all they knew. Passed down from generations. We've been getting whipped for how long? We've been getting yelled at for how long? Like, not even outside our family, our ancestors on them fields and everything. That's how else they gonna raise people. You better get that shit together, Daniel, because if not, how you gonna get a job? How you gonna get them good grades? Don't be stupid. Like, you know what I mean?
And then for me, I remember like adults kept talking about maturity. I remember as a young person, like, not respecting a lot of adults because of this word maturity. Like, you just older than me. Like, what? Like, yeah, I am immature. Like, I started owning the word immature just because I didn't want to be mature. If mature meant being like you, then I didn't want to be like you then. But it was power dynamics. Is older people using power to like give themselves rank, give themselves permission to like be abusive or to hoard power to get their way, or, you know, whatever other thing they were doing. But so back to, as I played my role by being in the house and being like the caretaker and whatever. And obviously I got better over time. It's not easy. Like, that's why like I have a deep respect for the individuals, male or female or whatever, that take on those roles of being the caretaker and like being with the children, because it takes a different kind of skill. Like for instance, my daughter, she cried like every day till 6 years old. You know, I say that often just so people can understand. Like, yo, imagine having a kid, and people don't like being called a kid. The kid's like a goat. Imagine having a child that cries every single day, you know, just to get what she wanted. And then I'm like, but I'm not gonna tell her to stop crying, because that's what our parents did. Like, stop crying, like be quiet. And then, but I know that when you stop crying, it's like you're tightening your body, you know, like it's having a physical consequence on your body, a negative consequence. Like you're supposed to let it release. You're supposed to let it go. But it's uncomfortable to the adults' ears because they be hitting those frequencies. Like my son now, he be hitting these frequencies that it just be vibrating your waters inside. So as a parent, you gotta like hear it and eventually like love the cry to where it doesn't disrupt you and make you want to hurt them or harm them, you know. And then for some parents that's not a possible thing. It becomes impossible.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like I had to figure it out, you know. I had to figure it out. And then so like this is what happens too. And then so I'll speak from one of my children was self-harming. Like, yo, do you understand how that affects a person psychologically? Like, and I would consider myself a strong person. And I had to check myself because I was getting upset because he was self-harming. What do I gotta do with it? You know, imagine being the kid, the child that's self-harming. But like, and then I understand parents that got to deal with that. Is like you almost like if I sit back and I look at it, it's like why do I feel this way? Like because it feels like it's a reflection of me. Like why can't I help you? Like I can't help you and I want to help you. So now I want to hurt you so that you can stop hurting yourself, right? Like which makes no sense.
None at all.
Right. It don't make no sense. But then in order, like, so how was he able to grow out of that? I just had to show him love, right? Just show him love, try to calm him, you know. But then guess what happens? So then now he still got this energy, but now he's taking it out on objects. You know, now he's raging with objects. And then he'll to this day, he'll still hit his sister. Like literally, and you can watch it like, I'm angry, I need to get it out, so I'm gonna hit my sister. And even then, we still gotta handle it with love, because then you think, well, no, you can't hit your sister, right? And I get it, and then this is like the part where then you get judged from every corner. But then if you don't show him love, then you can reverse the progress where then he can go back to hurting himself.
Yep.
You know, and then as he gets older, what happens when you're not seeing it no more? And then he's hurting himself in private.
Yep.
You know, and then it's like, and then now he's hurting himself in private. And then now he's 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old. Now he's having a bad moment in life and he's hurting himself in private. You know, and then if he feels alone, then that could be the one that commits suicide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all because we couldn't handle it, you know, when they were kids or whatever, or we couldn't make space to like listen to their cry or whatever. Anyway, so all that I'm saying is this is what mothers got to deal with, the ones that be staying at home, you know, and it's not easy. That's why you got like all these women that are getting like postpartum depression or whatever. It's not easy. And then imagine having a partner that just goes to work and comes home and doesn't want to hear it, or for them to hear it means they about to beat somebody, you know. So it's a challenge, because then either way, for parents that are putting their best foot forward to do a good job, it ain't easy. You know, it's something that takes work and it takes practice, and I could definitely respect it, but I could also see like how important is the role of the father to spend time at home, from that perspective, to give the woman a break. And if in the past, like in a matriarchal society, if that's the way that it was, it makes sense, right? I can understand it. And it's a thing, like with Betsy and I, we take turns. Like I usually would, when the children about 1.5, I would always find my way back home somehow and spend a couple years with them. Then I'll go back to work. Then I'll come back home a couple years, and then we've kind of been playing that game for some time. And that's why, like, I appreciate the type of relationship we have. However, and I won't go into more detail at this moment. It's not complete, right? Because I have these desires or these wishes that I've had to be dealing with over time, and then choosing not to act on, for the sake of the children and our overall family. But I've grown in the process. But yeah, being in the traditional female role, man, I got to, like, I know what it feels to be in a situation and have no access to resources because I'm not the one making the money, Yeah. Like, and then kind of being home and then having to check my thoughts, like, yeah, I am enough, right? Like, I don't need to be in that role to be important, even though from the outside I'm getting judged. You know what I mean? But I had to check it and always be conscious that I am good. I am good. This is the way, this is the best move or whatever. And it wasn't bad. Like I really liked it. And if anything, the more I talk about it, like, it just seems like the word is a trigger, right? And then I gotta sit with that, right? I gotta sit, like, why am I getting triggered by being possessed, because it's just a word. And then if I look at it from the perspective that you're saying, it's like that could be a compliment, like, for instance, if we switch places, you could appreciate it in a much deeper way than I have demonstrated, because, from a perspective, there's like it's almost like it's like a gift of some sort. Like, it's like like, for instance, Betsy, she's happy to be working, and if anything, well, see, that's why I don't like it. It's like, it's a boundary. Like, all right, this is your boundary. These are your boundaries. This is how long your leash is.
But
I mean, but go ahead.
But it's okay. That's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't. So I'm glad you said that.
Go ahead. And I'm not mad at it, for real. Like, I'm enjoying it because it doesn't have to be a bad thing. But go ahead.
Well, so I joke with folks around me, and I'll be like, nowadays I tell them I'm on the spectrum. I have to be on the spectrum. Like, my mind is just wired differently, right? And the reason why I sit here and say that I'm on the spectrum is because, like, when you're intelligent or very smart, right, it's hard to understand that person, that individual. It's not easy. It's never easy, right? And so I'm saying that because you could be on a leash, right? But it could be you're on the leash because, like, and then this isn't necessarily talking about your partnership at all.
Yeah.
The example is just fresher in my mind to communicate it this way. On the least because there's not much of a understanding or communication around it. And even if it is, it's like, it's different. Like, even to hear, like, experience of, like, yo, didn't act on this, there's growth in this. And I appreciate the growth, and I'm gonna own the growth, right? Because you still indicated this is what I have. And I want to, in my mind, like, my knee-jerk reaction to me saying that, I don't want to fuck that up. But that's not nowhere there. You understand the power and the I want to say I guess the power is the word I want, that y'all have as a collective, versus what y'all would have if it wasn't a collective. Like, you know what I mean? Kids, you know, partner, you, right? And to take one away equals less power, right? And so I'm listening to you, and like that's what came up for me in my mind is like, wait, like there's because I think last night I was talking to the homegirl about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, and you know, you and I get in our soapbox. So like sometimes I think people be with me, and then they be like, "I do some other shit," like you know what I mean. And so I'm like extracting like fuck the public eye and Kim Kardashian and the Kardashian. I don't worry about them. We both know, and we can agree on this. That is a very intelligent man.
Yeah.
We know that man got something going on. Whether he is bipolar or has been was that diagnosed that and he's okay with it. Like, I don't care about none of that. We know this man is smart.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's gifted.
We that's not gonna make a relationship easy. It's never gonna make a relationship easy. And this again is why I say loyalty. And I think as we're talking about, you know, I know we're saying girlfriend. We just talk about like, you know, we generalize things, or I normally do. Just in general, like I'm smart. Like for me, I can have anybody I want. People tell me that. I don't think I really know that, but like the people I kind of came across, I was like, yo, I've never had a 0 to a 5. Like everybody's been like 10 to the hundreds. Like, you know what I mean? Like I appreciate that about my life, and let me keep knocking on wood. But I'm saying that because at the end of the day, like I am smart enough and experienced enough and willing to learn and grow that I feel like compatibility should never be my fucking issue. I am not the best. I am not an expert. I am damn sure willing to try to make something fucking work and figure it out. I am a fucking engineer, damn it. When it comes to life, when it comes to learning, when it comes to love, when it comes to like people, relationships, like I am a fucking engineer. I am going to try to figure this shit out. And that's kind of where I was saying like the third party shit, like other people truly don't have to give a fuck. An engineer is nothing without a problem to solve. However, when I say I'm an engineer, I am not trying to solve a problem in partnership. I'm not trying to solve a problem with relationships. What I'm saying, I am willing to work with people to figure things out. Like, you know what I mean? Because we could figure it out. And so I'm saying that because that's not easy for someone who doesn't necessarily have the tools on their tool belt or in the toolbox to begin to work on something. Like, you know? And so I feel like, per se, like the Ye and Kim, like that's a lot. That's a lot. Like I think about how I get up. I think about how much space I hold for people, and I won't let them hold space for me. And that's like just a condition. I condition myself growing up and being by myself. But I trip out on the pain and experiences people have gone through when they call me, when I'm sitting there. I am growing so much and learning all day, every day that I'm learning like, Daniel, just shut the fuck up sometimes. Just be the fucking ear. And I know that's what they want me to do, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I do. But at times I'm like, you got this. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta go through that. Like, you know what I mean? And that's not always the best. Like, somebody just needs you to listen to them, right? And but because I'm so, I was gonna say problem solving, but that's not it. So willing to figure it out, you know what I mean? And support and figure it out. And because I'm just smart that way, I just want to like accomplish this goal. It doesn't leave opportunity for the other person in partnership or relationship or whatever on the spectrum of relationship to like be comfortable, right? In my amazingness while they're being amazing in their own way, right? It doesn't allow them to show up the way I would need them to, because for me, I just got a lot of going on, a lot of thinking going on. I just want to do this. I just want to try to do this. I wish we could do this. I want to invent this. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that's where things kind of, you know, drops the ball sometimes in my mind for folks that have a high intellect or very smart. Uh, because how do you show up for somebody like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, even like processing. Like, I could, I'm aware that I could compartmentalize things and I would tackle these, but I didn't. I'm here and I'm present, and because of this awareness, I gain knowledge, right? And because of not acting, I gained more knowledge and experience, right? It made me more aware on top of that. And so for me, like, that's power. Like, most people are, oh, that's self-control, that's control. Nah, fuck that. That's power. That's an IQ like a mug, especially if it doesn't bother you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't sitting here itching all day. Like, man, one day, man, I'm just waiting on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nah. If I'm just like, I'm aware, at any given time, I might click on, but I can tell because I'm aware it's nowhere gonna do nothing like that. That's some power and strength and awareness and knowledge and growth and development and continuous learning there that I feel like people need to speak on. And like I said, because of intellect like that and willing to figure things out or willing to communicate, I feel like compatibility should be there. But I feel like I always fail, or it can never happen, because I think on that level, it takes two to tango like that, unless we really holding each other down in partnership. And again, this is not in reference to what was shared. This is just more so my own thought process and my experience. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, like that reference to me having my own career, like, I don't want to be like, yo, I'm ready to lock down, but I'm ready to hold down whoever want to come around and hold down and hold me down too. And I'm not gonna even ask for much on top of that. Like, you know what I mean? I just need like this past weekend, I was just flat out just like depressed. I don't even get that. Like, you know what I mean? I was about to depressed for a day and a half. I wanted to sit and wallow in it for like I couldn't. I gotta work on Monday. Like, Daniel, you got shit to do. Like, you know what I mean? I wish, and I say it because I really wish I could be like depressed today, depressed tomorrow, you know, to embody and feel it and own it and be like, damn, bro, you're sad. I only had a handful of days, 3 days to literally do that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like, and now I'm back to normal. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm saying, like, in that time, like, just a partner, just to be there and hold me down. And as smart as I can feel like I could be, and I know that you can feel that way about yourself, that partnership only sharpens your mindset. And that's crazy to me, because it's like, I think I got it all. I don't think I got it all, but like I said, I think I could make it happen, knowing damn well I can't make it happen without that solid partner. And that's what I'm saying, like, and vice versa. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to figure out in terms of loyalty and partnership and being transparent and communication, kind of try to tie it back to the beginning of the first one, right? Because to tie it one more time back to the monogamous and the polyamory piece, I don't think, because I literally realized I just skipped that like a whole 35 minutes ago. I don't think it's about cheating. And I think that's why I had that reference of history too. It's not about cheating. It's about open line of communication. I want to be your one and only and all and everything. But if you don't allow me to do that, like, it just really ain't gonna happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are scared beings. Like, I jump in, I dive, I'm fucking up every relationship I'm in. I'm burning these shits out literally 4 months and 5 months. Everybody like, oh, I'm done. I ain't even mad at it at this point. Like, I don't know if that's a bad trait on my pattern. Like, it probably is. I'm not even tripping. Because once I dive, it's gonna stick like glue and somebody gonna fuck with me. If not, it is what it is. Because there ain't no point in, like, it ain't even age. Like, we either gonna do this or we not, because like, baby, we got this shit to do. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm saying that because like, it's the same shit. If I was to think about, is it cheating or is motherfuckers really just poly? And they don't even know how to communicate that. Or they don't even know what to do with it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's deduce that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you got multiple relationships happening at once, multiple people, I don't know if you poly, I don't know if you just got a like a sex addiction. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta start deducing this shit in different ways, because like, it ain't cheating if we all know about it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Oh, you going to hire house?
And then when we know about it, what's the threat?
Yeah.
Threat.
Yeah. And that's real shit, right? And so like,
and then that goes back to the programming. So then the programming is what created the threat.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's the same thing with friendships. You got like legit fucking platonic friendships. You got friends that I've done it. I threw a party before and I was surprised. I just wanted to see, look, I'm me everywhere I go. I'm over here with the people that got elected officials as their bosses. I'm over here in the hood with everybody turning up. I'm over here at work with my colleagues. I'm over here with whoever want to be over here with me. You know what I'm saying? I got the homie that's a square with college degrees. I'm like, I want to be like him. You know what I mean? I got the super old dude that's just cool, 45, 50, like the older women that are like 40, like 35, like they cool with me too. Like, I'm like, let's just bring them all together. You know what I mean? Like you said, like let's bring them all together. Like, I'm the common denominator. Like, why don't y'all know each other? Cause I kick it with you, I swear to all y'all cool. You know what I mean? Like, all y'all cool. Y'all all should know about each other. Y'all all should build a network. But like, if they don't allow that to happen, like, it just ain't gonna happen. And I think that's that conditioning in it too. Like, maybe you don't put all your friends like that together because they don't mesh well. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? But I mesh with them. And I think I could mesh with people. So if they mesh with me, I'm like, damn, you might be able to mesh with the people I mesh with. Like, you know what I mean? So I think like, I don't know, man. You're on a soapbox on that, but it's just like, it just got me thinking, like, it just really has me thinking about that. Like, that really sparked to me, like, it ain't cheating at that point, yo. Like, if I condition myself, and that's why I speak on loyalty in the way I do about showing up for people to the point. Let me get to that point. Like, it's not gonna be no burnout. It ain't gonna be no negative. It ain't gonna be no exhaustion. I'm not gonna be able to show up for you in that particular way no more. It's because I probably don't have the knowledge and wisdom no more to do it. I did it for other things. I can't help you fix your car. I just can't. I can probably help you pay for it and go get it fixed. But if you want me to literally physically do it, I don't got it for you. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't show up for you. And there's too much time to go learn how to fix a car and then come over and fix it for you. It's not gonna happen. So we gotta talk about something else in this relationship and how I can show up differently. Like, you know what I mean? And so I think that's where I'm leaning on, because it's like I feel like I could have one person fill all my needs. It's gonna be monogamous, probably not. I don't fucking know. I gotta throw the label on it because that's what I know it to be. It's no problem with that. But that's because I'm open to educating somebody. I'm open to being transparent and allowing somebody, this is what I like, this is what I want, this is what I need. Like, so if I throw monogamy on it, if you can fill these gaps, you can fill these gaps. Like, do you want to fill the gaps? I don't know. Can you lean to filling gaps? Yeah, I feel like people can, but that's it's not a desire. Like, you really just got me thinking, because I be thinking about shit all day. And
let me get you thinking some more, because I don't want to lose this conversation, because we're circling something that needs definitely attention, and it's been like a lesson that I've learned, and I'm at a point where I would like to have the conversation. Like, you touched on it, but I want you to touch on it more. Okay. today at work, a thought came across my mind. I can work with anybody. And then I was thinking about that, like, it doesn't matter who gets, because I'm in a position where now I need to hire another person. I need a person to work with me to get the job done. And I could work with anybody. Like anybody, you get me anybody, and I can work with them and it can be a successful relationship. The day before, I had told someone I was talking to, I can work with anybody, like any teen I can work with, like whatever their personality, I can work with whatever their personality. And I feel that the same thing applies in relationship. But then this is the part that I want you to touch on. So then, but why do I feel that I can work with anybody? Why do I feel that I can work with any teen? Why do I feel that? I feel that because I can hold space for them. And I'm using words that you're familiar with. Hold space for them. And that means that I can turn my ego off. No ego. Let me listen. What are your needs? Okay, I'm hearing your needs. Okay, then how can I help you fulfill those needs without an ego? And be patient. And I know that you may have some distractions, so I'm gonna allow space for your distractions or your vices, right? And if you violate a boundary, I'll check you. You violate a boundary, I'll check you. I'll give you consequences, right? And the consequences, so if they violate a boundary, I can just give them consequences and move them into a box that they can be successful in, right? Because maybe they had too much access or too much freedom, and then they need to be micromanaged a little bit more if it's a coworker, right? Mm-hmm. Or if it's a participant. Basically, I can work with anybody because I'm gonna meet you where you are, and if this is not working, then I'll put you in a different category with a slightly different responsibilities or a slightly different relationship, and I'll move you until it works. Even if I'm moving you for the rest of my life, right? Because I can just move you. I'm not gonna take it personal, right? And then I feel confident that I could do that, you know, with a coworker, with someone I'm working, someone I'm serving, or someone I'm sharing life with, right? Now, I step out of myself and I look out from the outside in, and I see myself holding space for other people, right? And then I see the other people, right, that are in that relationship. And I can, now this is where ego comes in, but I'm out. I left myself so that I don't got to look at it as ego, and I'm trying to look at it objectively. Is like, okay, so what's in it for him, right? What's in it for him? Well, what I get from it, I get to be at ease. I'm not stressed out. I'm like, because I just got to hold space. And I know from the beginning, I just got to hold space, right? So I'm good. But then something that came up is then who holds space for me, right? And then, okay, but guess what? So so I've been working so that no one has to hold space for me, right? And now I'm good where no one has to hold space for me, you know? And like, that's why I feel confident I can come on here and talk, because I can hold space for myself. Like, you know, I could just talk to myself, you know, and I'm happy and whatever, I'm good. So then that makes it harder for me to want to even be in a committed relationship, or to, and I'll use the word possess, to be in that relationship, because I don't need to be in that relationship, right? I don't need to be in that relationship. And then, so what I said enough, right? So now let me focus it on you, and then let me tell you this. Okay, boom. You don't need nobody, DCZ. Let's say that you're at a point where you got very thirsty. Look, I'll use that word. You got very thirsty for attention. I've been thirsty for attention, and I figured out how to quench that thirst on my own, right? So now I'm very sensitive to manipulation and deception. And then what I can tell you, DSteezy, is that whether people are conscious or unconscious about it, when they get into relationship and they have an orientation to be possessive, right? They have this personality trait where they unconsciously or consciously want to possess you. And by possess you mean they want your best interest, right? They want your best interest, but that also includes their best interest, which is like a reciprocal relationship. And for them to feel like they're losing you, then can cause them to behave in a way to try to keep you, right? And then because you're conscious and you're aware, you notice that they need you and you don't need them, right? They need you, and then they need you and they're willing to cross boundaries, you know, to keep you, to keep you from someone else who can benefit from you, whom you are also open to share space with and share time with, and because that's the kind of person that you are. So you have now, I'm trying to set it up so that you can just talk it out and just figure out how you want to talk about it. But what I'm trying to say is these, and this is the position that I feel that I'm in, and I want to hear your perspective. It's like, I used to say, I want 0 or 3, right? I want no commitment, and I want to be able to hold space for everybody, or I want a commitment with 3 individuals, because I think that that's the ideal formula. You know, there's problems if it's 1, there's problems if it's 2 for a personality like mine. So it's either 0 or 3, right? And then now I'm in a position where I want to be at 0. I want to be at 0. But okay, let me leave it there. All right, boom. How do you feel about feeling like you're good, right? Like maybe not what you feel like today, because today you're still wanting, like, but I'm saying, look, you got everything you have, and it's like you every morning you drink your whatever, you water, your coffee, whatever, and it carries you over for 24 hours, you know, and you just hold space for 24 hours. You could just hold space for 24 hours. And then now every character that's in your life, you know, you can see clearly. You can see clearly. And what incentive, why would you get into a relationship? Why? Like, why would you? Okay, so to get into a relationship is to limit your ability to hold space for a greater number of people. That's kind of what I think happens. Yeah. Like, then it creates a box in your head that now it creates a new filter. So now, for instance, if I was to get into a commitment, now I got a filter that I have to put everything through to honor that commitment. And I'm saying I don't need no filters. I'm so happy without filters. So what would make it worth it for you to want that filter, if that's how you feel? Okay, look, give me some advice. You got me already?
I'm gonna fuck you up, yo.
Let's go.
Fuck you. You're gonna hate me for this one.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm
like, damn. You already know, we talk about it all the fucking time. Love. Told you, you were like, you gonna hate this nigga. Love, yo. And I say that the whole flower reference. And me wired different, trying to same fucking filters. Let me turn this fucking filter off. Nope, but everybody don't need that. This one person. That's why I'm saying, like, I need to reimagine and reframe what monogamous really is. maybe it's really just a dedicated to one person. Like not even just like I don't want to use fucking hetero fucking committed partnership as monogamous. Like this could be a business deal for all that matters. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's call it a
Like,
filter. Let's call it a filter. So it's a filter. Like
or generational wealth. I can't create generational wealth with everybody, right? But
you can, by the way. You can, by the way.
yeah, no, I'm with you. But I'm saying as an individual that is a hunter, right? I think honing in on what really is, because it's hard. Because I don't want to be like desires, honing in on what you want, what you need.
Talk it out.
Like, you know what I mean? Okay, I will. I got you. So my this let me grab two, 3 bottles of water. Give me a second.
Here you go. Jaden, can you still hear me? Can you get me a glass of water, please?
I've been needing to get this water, and your ass gonna say thirsty, and I was like, I can't please use this word.
Before you start, let me use one of my filters to address the leash comment. Right? I'm sure that would be offensive to Betsy if I would refer to as a leash. She by no means has me on a leash. By no means does she put me on one. Like that's my own thinking.
Yeah.
Saying it that way, and I'm cool with it. Like I was cool with it. So
and I dig it, and like that's why I give my disclaimer too, because it's like it's not referencing, like when I share, it's not referencing, but what you shared is comment to the conversation. That's why I was even not even referencing your partner as someone that doesn't understand. That's not what I was trying to do either. You see what I'm saying? But I'm more so have a lot of similarities in you. Might not be in partnership, but I think in ways of thinking and moving. Except I don't have the poly pieces. Like I just don't. Like I really hate people. So it's like to have more people to hate, I'm gonna go crazy. But like it wasn't referencing that either. It's more so referencing my own mind of like my own intellect and how that shit didn't show up in my 5-year relationship I broke up in, and then I'm thinking like, damn, why is this 4-month thing only happening? That's because you're probably dating Daniel, but you're over here loving while you're dating. It doesn't add up. Like, you know what I mean? So I was processing that too. It's like, if I had somebody and I'm on that, you know what I mean? I could be on it because for them, they might be like, I don't get this nigga. And for me to understand him, I just need you here. Like, you know what I mean? And that was coming from my place of me. But normally when you share it triggers, like, I'm like, damn. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why I did the same disclaimer too. Like, yo, I'm not talking about yours. It can sound like a reference, but I generalize a lot because like we've been doing.
My disclaimer is out of respect for Betsy, because I know she's gonna be listening. She's probably listening to me right now. And,
yeah.
And this is the boom. This will be a good lead in. So I don't want that filter. You see, like having, but I want to be respectful. You know, because I want to honor her and speak highly of her, you know, but then it's like,
that's the love. That's what I'm saying.
Love is responsibility then.
And what I'm learning to do for myself, that's loyalty. That's loyalty. And that's why I keep trying to define it for myself, fine tune it, and find the value I want on loyalty at the end of the day. Because I think if I want to get and receive the same amount of love I'm dishing out, it would probably be unfathomable. Like somebody could probably not accomplish it, do it, think about it in a way. But loyalty, that was fucking loyalty. That was being loyal. That was being real. Look, I know I made this comment, but like, wait, hold on. Look, it wasn't because I'm like diehard me man, and this is what it is. Like, nah, this is like my own thoughts. And I want to make sure it's clear. Like, that's loyalty, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Like, and maybe I just messed up in my own reference of saying like, nah, like you gonna hate me because I'm just love. But nah, Well, I think I know what I've been saying this whole time is still it's that thin line between love and loyalty. L and L. That's what I'm gonna say right now. Thin line between
Now, I like
L.
that. I like that.
Thin line between L and L.
Yeah, Steve.
'Cause I think love will have you doing some fuck shit, some dumb shit. You know what I mean? Dumb, like dumb. But like on the loyalty tip now, that was loyalty, and that's what I'm trying to achieve. When I am around, or they're not around, or like this is us. Like nothing could break this bond. Like nothing could fucking break this bond. And I speak this way because that's like something I'm like putting out there, manifesting. Like that's what I want. But that's what it is. It's like you already shared. Like I did the work to hold the space. I've done it too. Like who's hold space for you? When you were saying that, I was like, we do when we on here. You get to chop it up. This is a different space though. This is a conversation. Like this is where you can go unload if you want to, right? This is a place where you can facilitate if you want to, right? Or this is a place where we could just share information like we always been doing, or thoughts, which is no different. Like, you know what I'm saying? This space is being held in a particular way where you don't even need it nowhere else. Because at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock now on my time, you here and you processing, and you brain dumping, and you exploring, and you digging, you doing all this. Like, and I don't think folks have the capacity to do that for you. Because like at times I don't need somebody to listen. I need somebody to just go down the rabbit hole with me, because like I'm going down the rabbit hole by myself, right?
And it's fun going down with other people down rabbit holes.
Yeah.
The rabbit hole got more doors, you know what I mean?
Like I got one, and the next thing you know, we got this whole rabbit hole we created together. But yeah, like I think it's loyalty. I think that's just really what it is, man. Because at the end of the day, it's hard. We build a business not to be like, you want the $1 million or not, the $1 billion, the trillion, the bazillion. That's the goal. Nothing should be able to break that goal. Are we together forever? Like, are we in partnership forever? Right? How deep are you trying to go? And I think loyalty will take that there for me. I think love will too. But love, I think, may get possessive. You know what I mean? I feel like love.
Okay, and that should be okay.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah,
it is.
And I think that's the part. That's the lesson that's hard for me to learn. And I think that's like I'm trying to resist it, and it's like, because it's like coming from like a mind frame that it should be perfect. I'm coming from a mind frame that it should be perfect.
Or how you expect it and look at it to be.
Right. Jaded. Right. Which has tainted it, because it's like, for instance, let me rewind it. Now I'm gonna let you talk. Can you get some water, please? Like, there's been a block in my relationship, right? That never really had to be there if I would have seen it from a long time ago, that it never had to be perfect, you know? And then by having the expectation of it having a level of perfection has caused it to like not go to another level, you know? And I think that's where you mentioned earlier, and I want you to address this as you talk too, like about the non-compatibility. Like, I would have thought that I preferred to be compatible with someone, and I still do. Like in my programming, if out of that 0, the 3 solves for that, because then compatibility is not necessarily necessary. But if I were to go to a 1, right, then I have to restructure my rules and say that compatibility is not necessary, and then make a commitment to be with someone that is not necessarily compatible, because it doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that's where the loyalty comes in and all that. But that's been my block. For a monogamous leaning person, my block has been that if I'm gonna have one, then we should be compatible, and I think that's been an error. That's the error in the thing. I'll speak for myself as a person who's non-monogamous leaning, and in a situation with a monogamous person, expecting perfection or expecting compatibility has been the block that has limited my love, my ability to express love or to give that away. So if I were to just reimagine it, right, and say I could be monogamous, I could choose that, right? I could choose that, and I'm essentially choosing it whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
And then I'm just basically saying, okay, well, I'm choosing it, and I'm just saying that I'm cool, and I could accept you when you're afraid. You know, I can accept you when you're on your lows, and I can take you when you're on your highs. And I guess that's what they call marriage, right? Like I said, I get it.
I mean, that's the prime epitome of why I just fall in love, and I fall in love hard, and I'd be heartbroken a motherfucker, and it is what it is. It's because I want to look at you like, damn, you bad. Damn, I just love your ass. Damn, what? You wearing what? You gain weight? Oh, you thick now? Like, you know what I mean? Shit, I got a thick woman. Like, I don't gotta go get a thick. You turn thick. You know what I mean? Like, what's good? Like, I don't see you at your best. Like, you know, I love every aspect from man.
Tell Jaden. Jaden, help him, please.
I just be in love, yo. Like, I had this chick so cold, and like, excuse me, this woman.
Was it love at first sight?
Nah.
Okay.
I grow, like I told you, I know people for a year, you know.
That's right.
And so now it's a different light, like, you know what I mean? And so beautiful as is, like always, like that's why I had to knock on wood earlier, like beautiful. And then to be able to watch this person put on makeup for the first time. They already bad, they already cold. Like, you know what I mean? I'm already drooling every day. Like, you know what I mean? Hair done, like just brushed it down. Like I always see it. It's just different that day. Makeup on, dress, heels, like, you know, like I got to watch that whole process, and I'm just sitting back like I'm the luckiest nigga alive. Like literally, like just head over heels. Like that's how I am. I'm just like,
let me hop in here. Okay, so question about you. Where are you on the spectrum between thinking and feeling? Are you more on the thinking side, more on the feeling side, or in the center, or how do you feel? How do you connect with that?
In regards to?
So, for instance, if you're more on the thinking side, that means that you're trying, like, you're more oriented. Okay, so I've been thinking about you versus I miss you. Are you more likely to say I've been thinking about you or I miss you?
That's a good one. And I think that's a fucked up one, because I started thinking when you were saying it, like, I'm in love versus like, do I think it? Do I feel like I am, or do I just think I am? That's what I thought you were going.
Yeah. That's kind of where I'm going at. Like, and not saying that thinking doesn't mean that you're not in love, but are you in love more up here or more over here? Or it's like, both. Are you more up here or more over here?
I want to say it's in the middle. It's both, which probably is in the middle.
And I can believe that. Like, I sense that from you. That's why I'm trying to pick up on it, because I sense that from you.
It's here, and it's here because for me, like, that's how I had to learn loyalty. That love I want. Like, I want to keep that. You make me feel this way. I don't think every like woman can make me feel that way. I think I like a lot probably can, because like that's just how I am. But like, who gonna put up with it at the end of the day? This nigga probably just too much. This nigga, girl, he told you love me all the time. Like, you know what I mean? But
And on the flip side, many will definitely like that.
I want to deep down passionately love somebody from their head to their feet, right? Like that's where my reference was coming into, like I'm with you all the time, or we can't text, like we engaged in all the time, and you're just as beautiful, as smart as ever, and I get to hold that space for you when you're crying. I get to like sleep with you. Last face I see when I go to sleep. First face I see when I wake up. You know, you cooking, I'm cooking, you eating it. Like I just want butterflies, lollipops, unicorns, rainbows, flowers. I'm just love. And because I know that and I feel that, and I'm looking for me, right? Daniel or D Steezy looking at it from that angle, it gets to that point where that loyalty kick in so cold in a different way. Like, I'm not trying to say let's have a relationship for the rest of our lives that requires marriage and or a universal partnership, uh, uh, or a lifetime partnership, excuse me. Like, but I'm not saying I'm itching or I'm head over heels because I want that with that individual. Like, I'm also head over heels because I just want you to feel good. Motherfucker, if this is my fucking moment to have you, right? I could fuck up. Like I'm human, but I want you to feel love. I want you to allow me to love you. And that's gonna translate into like loyalty in the way, like how you just broke that down, right? To like, you know, let me circle back and talk about this because that's what I want to do at the end of the day. That loyalty, I don't want to think twice about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to question it.
Right.
Like this us. You know what I mean? I'm head over heels, and now it's gonna go back because I like that block you was thinking is like I wanted to be like, yo, I'm not saying you're not in love. I'm like, yo, to like find out where it is. That's a journey in itself. And that should be fun. It's gonna be rough, but that should be fun. Because if I'm gonna be loyal, I don't know. I don't know. That's just really what I'm thinking. Cause like I can't miss you if I'm around you all the time, and that's okay. Or I can. Cause sometimes I could go to the store and be like, damn, I wonder what my girl, I was just with her. I'm okay being smothered. That's the thing, too. I'm okay being smothered. I'm okay smothering each other. I'm okay, like I'm at the bachelor party or my homie getting married and somehow you couldn't make it. I will be that nigga in the bathroom when I got baby. I'm at the hotel. Like, what, like that's not a problem to me, right? But it could also be a fantasy or a fairy tale, like you know what I mean. But like at the end of the day, I'm saying like I would love for us to have that. I would love for us to have that communication so we can have that. And I would love that this creates this loyalty that we ain't thinking twice about nothing. You in Rome, I'm in Japan, business moves is happening. We just flew back to the United States and we doing our thing. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, you going with your homeboys, go ahead, go be with your homeboys. You going with your home, go be with your homegirl. Because we just know, and what I'm thinking too, that you said about compatibility, what percentage, what let's see, I want to say line item is like purchasing shit. I don't want to say category because I don't think category is the word. Probably is. What category has percentages? Like I think today I started finally looking up my strategy sign with somebody else's. Never did that. I was looking at compatibility across sex, laughter, health, with all this shit. I was like, oh, hey, this is crazy. I should have been doing this. Like, you know what I mean? Just to get a sense, not to like live by it, but like to be like, oh shit, like I'm a little aware. Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm saying that because like there's not like this shit just ain't compatible.
Let me give you the categories that I think about when I think compatibility: money, sex, conversation, parenting.
So then that the I don't want to say deal breakers because I feel like
non-negotiables.
nah,
Okay.
Because some of them gonna be low and some of them gonna be high. So it's just gonna be high. And
Right.
some just gonna be low.
So then that's the trap that I've been, and I'll call it a trap. Do I want to call it a trap? That's the circumstance that I've found myself in, is that, so then if there is such thing as a soulmate, right? I would say that the soul, now I'm not saying this is accurate, because that this is like my life experiences have challenged this belief system. A soulmate, or what I would think a soulmate is someone that you're compatible in all those categories. So when you're compatible in parenting, it means that you guys would have the same reactions to the same reactions to conflict when it comes to parenting. So for instance, that means that we both agree on how to discipline, or how to manage giving consequences to disruptive behavior when it comes to parenting. When it comes to sex, I would say that we would be compatible in that we would feel that our sex drives are equal, meaning like we don't feel a lack of, like, there isn't a lack in there, or there isn't too much, or like it feels like we're compatible, like we're our sex drives are similar, where it's not causing a disruption. When it comes to money, there isn't no one is keeping count as to how much the other is contributing or not contributing, meaning like my money is your money, and I'm not judging how hard you're working or how not hard you're working. And then when it comes to conversation, at the most basic level, is that we are agreeable to each other, where when we miscommunicate, we're not going to negative thoughts about what the miscommunication's about. We're giving room, we're making room for the benefit of the doubt. So with those categories, that's where I think about compatibility. Now, when there's non-compatibility, then that's when there's space for disruptions. And then I was let me just say, or yeah, let me speak it in past tense, because I want to be open in the moment. I have been known to label disruptions as a negative thing in a relationship, when it doesn't have to be that way, because it doesn't, like, why would I say that? It doesn't, just because I say it don't mean it got to be negative. But that's what I mean about compatibility. So we got money, sex, conversation, and parenting.
Well, I also think you described like comparisons within that compatibility, and I think that's where, wait, I think I could be wrong, because the comparisons is wrong. Comparisons allows to let you know what works to a certain point. That's why I'm asking for a percentage.
Okay.
So in my mind automatically goes either work or it doesn't. See what I'm saying? So I'm asking for a percentage because I don't want to necessarily know how low or how bad or how high or how good. I am looking for room for growth and work to happen, to be compatible, that works for both. That's what I'm thinking. So when I think about the astrology pieces I looked up, certain pieces were not good at all, literally. But the overall, I think at the end that I read was like a high compatibility. Like, y'all figure this shit out, it'll fucking work, right? Literally. And certain pieces were low, and I was like, damn. But those low pieces or those percentage identifiers I seen just from the jump from reading, like, because it was already graphed out, right, was a starting point to me, it wasn't saying, when I read it for myself and the way I received it, because I think differently, wasn't like, this is what it is if you date this person or if you're with this person. For me, like permanently, right? To me, it was more so like, this is what you're going into, and or this is what can occur, and or this can begin, or this is occurring, right? So now that you know this information, what are you going to do with it to make it work? You see what I'm saying? And so
let me tell you how it gets challenging. Let me tell you, like, from the categories that I mentioned. Let's talk about parenting. Let's say, for instance, in my case, or not necessarily let me speak in general, because what has happened in my relationship is that we've both been growing. Because we were not compatible, we've been growing. You know, she's tolerant of me and I'm tolerant of her. And then by me being tolerant, then I can be more understanding. And then by being understanding, then it shifts my belief about what non-compatibility means. But this is where it gets challenging. Where it gets challenging, for instance, when it comes to parenting, is what happens when one parent likes to use power over the children, like has no problem spanking, or is willing to cross the boundaries of children, and then you have one that wants to respect children. So there's a conflict there, you know, because every day then you're noticing tones, expressions, behaviors that are vibrating your insides because they don't feel right. You're like, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't do that, you know. And then that affects the relationship. So that's a conflict that when that lack of compatibility makes it challenging. That's like where it gets challenging when it comes to one example, when it comes to parenting. When it comes to conversation, is what happens when you express yourself and the other person seems to get offended by expressions that are not offensive from your perspective, you know, to the point where you feel like you can't have a conversation because then everything you're saying can cause the other person to become offended, you know. Now, granted, you can, because then now you got to be extra, like now you got to get super conscious about what you're saying, because maybe you were saying things, you weren't being sensitive enough, you know. But the point is that there's this in conversation, you're offensive. When it comes to sex, it could be your desire for physical touch is unwelcome. You know, it's unwelcome, you know. And then when it comes to money is like, if you're not providing, then it's an opportunity to express power, you know, to talk down to. So then those are like the situations where lack of compatibility can cause a conflict. Now, all of them can be overcome. It's been my experience. They can be overcome. They can, and it leads to, that's why like I would tell people, if you want to grow and become the best version of yourself, being in a non-compatible relationship is the quickest way there, you know. But it's challenging. It's challenging. So then that's where I mean about compatibility, like is having to be able to hold space for people, or hold space in situations that are and then let me tell you the next thing to that. So with the parenting, I usually don't include it because not everyone's a parent. So I say money, sex, and conversation. And I say that if you're happy in two categories, like if you're compatible in two of those categories, the odds of someone being unfaithful is small. If you're only happy in one out of the three categories, then that opens the door for a person to be unfaithful. And if you're happy in none of the categories, you know, that's when it gets super challenging. super challenging. And again, real quick, these negative or these disruptions don't necessarily have to be happening every day, because as people grow, you know, then the relationship finds ways to find ease, right? Like there's I make space, she makes space, the people make space, and then the negative stuff doesn't really happen, right? But it's in there, it's in the, we're each working on ourselves, you know. So then that, I want to make that clear too, that it doesn't necessarily, you could be in a great relationship that's not compatible because you're growing and you're making and you're holding space for each other.
I think you brought up
Jay.
I think what you brought up for me in this moment, I don't have a response or nothing to offer. Okay, I don't feel like I'm responding to things you said. I have nothing to offer in this moment, because as I was listening to you and I processed, I wanted to be sure, like, my offering didn't like really hold on to what you were saying about your experience, and like I wanted to allow it to exist as an example.
Yeah.
That's not real. You know what I mean? But what is coming up for me is that other piece of it is two things. It's really just two things. And the first one is, for a person that is equipped and skilled and knowledgeable, who is capable and is holding space and of a stature like mine, yours, or whoever, who's in the position to understand everything you just said and remain, be there, fully present, with nothing to deter them away, that's the road we walk. That's the path we're always gonna be on, right? And I say that because everything you've known me to say up to now and later is because I want that to be, I don't want it to be reciprocated. I want to be held down. I want somebody to hold me down, have my back no matter what. You know what I mean? Not in the same way. I just need to know you got my back, but I need you to have it, you know? But so the first thing is just like, that's the path we walk on. And it's always going to be our duty that we've committed to remain, to support, right? And I say that because not remain to support, to remain,
Hold space. To keep it simple.
no, I'm saying the same thing. No, you're right. It is hold space, but like I said earlier, we're equipped to do that. So it's difficult to kind of get upset about it. If that makes sense.
No, I got you. Yeah. And
you know what I mean? It's like, because I know what I know and you don't know what I know, I can't fault you for not knowing what I know. Like, you know what I mean? I can't fault you because you're not there. If that makes sense. Like, you're just not there. And so I can't argue with you. I can't get mad. Like, I understand that. And so I'm saying that's something that I have to allow exist for myself. You know what I mean? Like, the other person can help you with that one. But the second one is, what really came up for me too is, you know, the experience of the other person. Not saying they have less intellect, not even that. Not even less exposure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not even that. In my mind, I'm thinking like,
there's trauma involved. I think we're all humans are traumatized.
And that's what I'm saying. Without saying, because I don't want to put, I was gonna say the obvious. The obvious isn't the best way. I don't want to put, we're gonna say trauma because we said it, on that person. I don't want to say it's their experience to why. Like, we kind of know that. So when there's some shit you know, I don't like naming certain things.
Okay, got you.
I would rather name it in a particular way that even says they're just not, you can work on it. Like that, for me, that's like the easiest thing to say, like, but it's not easy. Like, if that makes sense. Because I'm not trying to dismiss people's experiences and say, well, they experienced this. But I'm also not trying to dismiss a person's ability to tap into some shit, yo. And I don't want to give power to the fact that somebody can't tap into that shit.
Right.
Like,
and it could be as simple as living in, like, being a future, or like moving from the future to now, meaning, and that's like when it comes to trauma, and it's easier said than, we've talked about this. It's easier said than done. But at least I'll speak for myself. To overcome trauma, speaking for myself, I discovered that living in the moment is the answer. However, it's not possible to live in the moment when you've already been taken away from the moment. So in my particular circumstance, my way out has been by going from the future to the present, and the past is irrelevant. For others, it might be the other way around, but for instance, people that maybe when they think about the future, there's worry involved. Well, that's because they're dragging something from the past. So I got it. So a lot of people are holding on to an identity that is based on trauma.
Conditioning. They say that.
There's people that
trauma,
that they built an identity on those subjects, and they had their identity includes that, right? And then for me to get out of that identity, I had to remove that identity and then live today, and have a new identity that I practice being. And that new identity that I practice being is characterized by one that holds space for everybody, you know, and that's how I've been able to feel ease. Now, so for other people who are attached to an identity, I guess, and I don't want to tell people what to do, but I'm guessing if there's a blueprint, it would include that. Because if you're holding on to an identity that is conditioned with these past experiences that are limiting you from trusting others, that are limiting you from holding space for certain personalities, then that's going to be a block. That's going to be a block to your full expression. You know, so and I believe that can be flipped by removing that identity. So that's why I can agree that I wouldn't want to just say that it's trauma. Like you said, that would be an easy way out. Like, yeah, we all traumatized. And not to take away from it, because it's a very real experience. However, in this moment, we're not in this moment that I am here. I'm not being traumatized.
Mhm.
If there's trauma going on in my head about past experiences, and that's me identifying with those thoughts, and I can choose not to identify with those thoughts, by removing that identity that's attached to that. And I think and then that can open the possibility for a new reality, a new way of, a new and then look. So this is like something that you've been hitting on from different angles, and I'm catching it. You know, it's like we don't have to be afraid, and that's like you're very vulnerable. Like when you speak of love, you want to be vulnerable. Like, and then I'm thinking, okay, yeah, look, at some level, I'm not being vulnerable. Like I got this head. That's why I was telling you, like, head heart thing, and I feel like I'm more of a gut person, right? Like I'm not really thinking or feeling. When I was a kid, I wasn't thinking or feeling. I was just being or doing. Um, then at some point, I started feeling. I didn't like what I felt, so then I started thinking, and then I thought that thinking was better because I was no longer feeling, but then I was no longer doing either, right? So now I'm up here, and then I'm like, okay, up here is not it. So I try to come to the feeling, and then I skipped the feeling and went right down to being again, and then I'm talking to you, and it's like feeling is where the love is at. I'll put friendship or like whatever, like. So now I'm down here, so it's like to be in alignment is to be able to go up and down through feeling, thinking, and just acting and just being. So it's like, and then it's like, so then you got to open it up. You got to open it up. You got to trust. You got to make yourself vulnerable. You got to be able to hold space so that you can be, you know, and that's how I would suggest, or we're kind of getting at that, is a way of not identifying with that personality that is based on trauma or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And just also this notion of understanding that, like, shit, you don't live this far without being polyamorous. Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you really have anything to lose? Like, polyamorous, excuse me. Do you have anything to lose? You probably just don't. Like, you could probably live this, like go without experience that at its full capacity at this point, and you're gonna live. Excuse me, you're gonna die. You're gonna be like, all right, like, you know what I mean? But
I
I don't think
personally
that.
have said that, by the way, but the part that is not cool. Look, and I'm holding myself. It's not cool. It's not cool because then, okay, so check. Okay, hear me out here. I'm saying I can do that, right? Now, where I've checked myself on it is that, and no, I don't. Okay, look, we'll just talk it out because I'm bouncing back and forth. Um, because yeah, who am I to speak on somebody else's future? Let me get that out. Okay, so I can't speak on other people's future, but I can try. Um, no, look, I got to check myself. I was gonna say I am not the best case scenario for that person, but maybe I am. See, I can't say that. I got to take myself out of that because I was about to say there's someone better for that personality, but then if what we're saying is true, then that doesn't that cross that clears that out. That
Yeah,
clears that out. So I'm not even gonna go there.
like you could work past your shit. Just like, you don't gotta tap into that. Someone else might just need to tap into like a. My thing is like, do you feel me? That's my thing. Like, you heard what I said? Like, I'm not trying to educate you on nothing. Like, that's when like I'm talking to people. Sometimes it's like, I just need the validation that you understood this fucking crazy ass wired ass brain. Like, literally. Cause I'm okay.
Right.
Cause I understand. That's why with this shit too, it's kind of like, as easy as I be trying to make it seem like it is to talk about love. I think if we would have talked about everything we talked about from a love standpoint that's traditional, we would have fucked this whole conversation up many months ago. Like, you know what I mean? It just would have been, we would have never made it this far. You feel me? And
Right.
The same way you can say someone could in the future, not even I was gonna say be open to the idea. It's not being open to the idea. It's being aware and acknowledge and understand. Boom. That's all you need. Because at the end of the day, for me, like that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of things like I don't share tears with women, all types of shit. In the moment, I know they like this nigga crazy because I'm like, look, I'm just crying because I feel I'm really good, even though it really look like I'm not. Like, but I'm okay. Trust me, I'm okay. I know I'm okay, but this is what I want to show right now. And so I'm showing it. Like, I am showing it and no like holding it back. Like, you know what I mean? And so
And then to get there, I can imagine it takes a lot of courage, like, and like these, or it takes these different words.
you just gotta tap
click,
in.
click, 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 click. You know,
You just gotta tune in. You just gotta tune in. It's because like it to me, it's still referencing like that I think or I miss you. Man, I'm thinking about when I want to get you flowers, little tedious shit. I want a motherfucker to feel good. I want somebody to hopefully, I'm not being manipulative and want somebody to say they miss me.
I hear you. I hear you.
I hope I'm on their mind. Cause they on mine. They on my mind. Like, you know what I mean? It's on the same sense. It's like I have to feel. I have to be aware. I have to be emotionally intelligent for myself and for the other person because I have the strength, I have the desire, I have the opportunity, I have the space, I have the tools in my tool belt to do so. And I can only hope that through partnership, relationship, that like ain't no fault that I want these things, like, you know, the alignment, like, you know what I mean? I'm just in tune with myself to know and I'm aware. And for me, I'm okay with, because that's how I am too. Like, I'm actually okay with not being with nobody. Like I'm okay. I'm legit. I am okay. What I need to learn how to do off the riff is practice more self-love and be more in tune with my body and my own, like, oh, I like when I touch my own hair. Like, you know what I mean? I don't explore my own physical touch is what I'm saying. And that's questionable in my mind now. I'm like, bro, like, you could probably just be in this house by yourself doing what you need to do. Don't have to worry about nobody for a minute. Like, just relax, dog. And that's just me being transparent. Because when I think of that, that's some real shit. Like, I feel like women are in tune with their bodies, like legit. And I'm sitting here like, I don't think I'm really in tune with my body. Like, you know what I mean?
Now, you said that, and it made me think of something I read the other day. Women are getting feedback on their body for ever since they're young, like, you know, like whether it's about diets, whether it's about their period, whether it's like, so look, I'm gonna just get off subject real quick. You know, like how a lot of parents have their conversation with their kids about their private parts, and they begin those conversations, and then they tell the girls not to sit on the boys' laps, and like it, my strategy has been different than that. You know, I feel like it's my responsibility to not create the situation that can cause those things to happen, so then I don't have to even talk about it. And then, you know, we don't got to talk about that right now, but back to the main conversation is that I'm hearing you talk, and what I'm getting is like, yeah, as a society, we always talking about women's bodies. Like it's something that they eventually become hyper for. Like, for instance, when they start developing breasts, like, you know, like now they got to get a bra, like society tells them they got to get a bra, like, you know. And I could imagine how much time they spend in the bathroom looking at themselves, you know, trying to figure it out. Whereas as a male, I didn't get that kind of programming like that. And then the programming that I did get was about getting bigger and stronger, because I wanted to play sports, so I want to be big and strong. But I don't think it hit me it didn't, at least me, it didn't hit me the way I think that programming hits some female. And then there are boys that grow up getting the same messaging depending on how their parents. But I think as a society, women's bodies are hyper like addressed to a much greater degree than men traditionally.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about how that plays into, but then it doesn't always go, then based on that messaging, that stimulus, different people respond differently.
And that was perfect. That was well said to even make that comparison. Like, you know what I mean? To add that reference to it. Because I never would have thought that at all. And that speaks volumes too, right? Because I'm a player. I just think I could just dick shit down all day, not even on my own dick. Like, when you think about it, like that's so weird. That's so weird. Like, you know what I mean? But if I'm sitting here with another woman, I'm like, yo, like, how you really want me to do this? She could tell me, like, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess I could tell somebody what I like, but I can't really like keep it 100. I don't think I could just fully tell somebody what I like, you know what I mean? And I think that's the difference I'm saying, because like that, you're right. I'm always give that feedback to a woman, like, because that's patriarchy, and that's just what it is. And for them to have to long term grow up and hear that shit, and then like they're developing, like you said, and exploring that and having that conversation with somebody, like that's deep. That put a lot to perspective saying that. Like that's deep.
And it's challenging. I'm thinking even like talking to girls and then looking at their chest, right?
Yeah. Like, no, that's real. That's real.
Because you can notice.
Yeah. And then even sometimes, like, I know I've done that, but I've known my eyesight, like I know me, so I've never meant nothing by it. Right, it might have just happened because your bust is like really out. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's not like it's happening, and I'm not trying to like justify it happening, right? Like if somebody think it's some sly dog shit, then I guess it's still some sly dog shit, or it is. Let me not say I guess, and then it is. But I've noticed, like, I mean, if you have your boobs out, I might glance and just notice it just because it's there. Like it's obviously there, like, but some people go check them for it. You know what I mean? They already know. They're like, oh, I'm about to look. They can't wait to talk to you so they can look. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I know sometimes mine come more out of curiosity. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, are those out? Are they really out? Oh, yep, they out, and I'm done. Like, cause I just know they out. Like, you know what I mean? At that point, I was validated. I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to stock. like what some of.
I took my glasses off on this one. I'm about to share something that is gonna be like, all right, you sure you want to say that? Yes, I'm gonna say it because we're on the Real Talk Show.
The Real Talk Show.
You know how many and like I'm saying, like, you know how many, like, I'm not like whatever, like I'm not even gonna disclaim it. Forget that. Like, do you understand the curiosity I have about the color of nipples, bro? I'd be curious about that.
That is so funny.
Now, luckily, in the last couple years, that hasn't been on my mind, and this is reminding me of it.
This is funny.
Like, especially when I was younger. Like,
you're horrible, by the way. And I'm mad that I'm entertaining it, but I'm not entertaining it. That's a funny concept for someone to have in their head. And I've met somebody, and now I'm joining you in this because I think it's only fair. I have met somebody who I want to be like didn't have any, but like didn't have no color to it that matches that. They literally matched their skin, and it was like a white presenting skin, or probably a little tan in it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
and then hold on, now let me balance it real quick. Women, or if you're attracted to a male, don't front and don't act like you ain't curious about the guy's size, because that's the same thing. I'm talking about color and y'all talking about size. Same thing.
Yeah, hey.
Because they talking about that, so they just put it out there. But yeah, so the color's the thing. That's been the thing for me.
That is funny though, and it does make sense because like you're a very curious person. So I just think it's funny because your curiosity is just unfathomable too. Like that's just I would have never thought you was gonna say that. But because I know you,
this is where it gets
makes
in trouble
sense.
though. Like, okay, so then how do you get to see them without like, cause see, like, all right, look, I don't want to have sex. I just want to see your nipples. Like, so how do you get to seeing the nipples
You going
without
to hell.
having sex?
Have you said that before?
No.
I was about to say you going to hell. You going to hell for that. You
No,
done
that's
made.
like, I wasn't
Plenty
mature
of people
enough.
upset.
I wasn't mature enough to be able to communicate that. But now that look, I want to be mature enough to be able to say that. Like, I would really like to see your
I don't.
and it's not even like, it doesn't even have to be sexual, like, you know. And then think about living in a culture where they're out. Like, if they're out, then it takes the whole sexuality of it. Takes, look, cover. And now I have it. I'm sharing the screen, and it's stuck on this comment from a brother who is a Muslim, and he talks about how the women cover themselves in hijabs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, what is the impact of completely covering? Like, there's positives, there's negatives, but one of the negatives is that it hypersexualizes the body. You know, like, so seeing a nipple is like, oh, I seen a nipple. When in a culture where that's not a big deal, it's not a big deal. You know, so if I was raised in a culture where the nipples would have been exposed, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal. And because it really isn't. I just really like my curiosity, because you know there's some like light-skinned girls that got dark colored nipples, and there's some light-skinned girls that got pink colored nipples. Like, and it's like you just never really know until you see.
That's why I said, based upon your intellect, that's why it was funny, because like I can imagine you really being curious over some shit like that, and just wanting to know, like nothing more than that, just wanted to know. Because yeah. I've been like that in situations and in conversations where it's just like, I just want you to feel good. Now I really have to determine if I want to have sex or not. Not a bad thing, like, right? But like,
right,
that was never my outcome and my end goal. That was never the objective. Like, though, like to have sex. Like,
right.
The objective to me was always to just want you to feel good, feel love.
Look, now that we're talking, I'm now look. This is a bigger conversation, because I wonder how many. I'll use females because that's what we're talking about right now. Feel pressure to have sex, and maybe they just want to make out.
Yeah, yo,
or be touched.
I'm horrible. I will lay
like,
with you.
They maybe want to be touched, but not sexually. They just want their breasts touched. They just want,
yeah.
You know, and then they feel pressure, like, oh man, I gotta go further. And then the guy may just want to just not go there, but then they're both going there, and I think that can cause people to have sex too quickly, and maybe none of them really wanted it, you know, and then they're not seeing each other after that.
Yeah,
like, that's all that
shit. No, that shit depends, because I've had a conversation with somebody about that, and they were like, they did it, but then like they didn't want to that one night, and I was like, yo, that's kind of mad weird. But then they were like, but obviously I did, because I went and did it again. Like, that night was a little weird, but like the other time I knew what I was doing for sure. And it was just like, oh, okay, like, you know what I mean. Well, and I know my personal experience has been like, it's never been a goal. Like, it's not a goal. Like, I am not trying to achieve sex at all. But I've noticed, like, the women have, like, always, like, I'm just not an initiator either. And so, because I understand past traumas, things like that, experiences that could have happened, like, I find it hard. I wonder, I never asked that. I need to go back, and it's kind of weird to say, ask the women that I've had sex with, like, yo, would they have wanted me to take the lead more? Because sometimes I'm just like, I know that they might want to, or especially if I'm in a relationship, right? No, they might want to, I might want to, together we might want to at this moment, but like, I'm just like, let me sit here and watch TV. Like, literally, where in that moment, there could be a calling for like we need to be doing this right now. But like, I'm just stuck on the TV because I'm like, yo, if you really want to do it, you'll let me know. Like, you know what I mean? And then we can get it popping. And I wonder if that takes a toll too on the other person because they're ready to go. You know what I mean? They just want, they not sure. I've been told that I'm the person you got to ask consent to have sex with. Like, you got to ask me, Daniel. You got to be like, yo, like, you want to do it? Like, and that's because the way I present and the way I move. And I think that's cool. I take pride in that, you know what I mean? Because I feel like we should have consent over both our bodies, like, you know what I mean? But I just feel like, you know, some people want somebody to take the lead. Some people want somebody to take charge. Some people like, you know, that's not normal for certain people. Like, they don't know how to work with that. They don't know how to handle that, deal with that type shit. So I think sometimes that could be detrimental or impactful on the relationship in a way that's not positive. But like, really, like what you said is like, it's real shit. Like Daniel just took me to this restaurant. I gotta have sex with him. Like, no, you don't. Like, I really just wanted to go get a fucking meal. Like, I like to eat. Like, that's about it. You're horrible. What you over there? What you about to select?
I'm trying to see which one is the one that you're trying to get her to the house. Which one's the one that you're trying
appetite.
to?
Wait. Which one? There's two of them.
Let me see.
No. What you mean? Like, it's freaky. It's freaky.
Let me see appetite because I think freaky is freaky. Let me see how. I think that might be appetite because I was
appetite is the one.
Like, this is gonna end in the bedroom. That's how it always does. Let's see.
My mom like appetite. Shout out to my mom, yo.
Yeah, you go. Look, I'm about to lead you to my bedroom.
Feed. He said, I'm gonna feed you.
Oh, I'm about to feed you?
Yeah.
Okay. Jaden. Please.
Hey.
She said she's here and now she's walking up the stairs. She said she hopes that I'm prepared to make her body sweat and chill. I smiled and laughed because it was funny for me to hear. I told her she has no idea how I'm gonna make her feel. Son of her heels and her fragrance filled the air. Got me feeling high as hell like I'm rolling off a pill. She can't believe this is real. She used to dream it, now she's here. Knew of each other for some years and an anticipation build. Now she's entering the room. She dimmed the lights and said to move. Pour her glasses something smooth. Took off her coat and made her move. I tried to play it cool. Ain't no rush, this what I do. I told her sit back, just relax.
Look, you even put it in your songs that she made the first move.
You see what I'm saying? Like, okay, this is what you want to do. Then let's do it then. Like, I know.
Yeah. I've definitely been enjoying listening to your tracks, and I could appreciate because the more we talk, like I'm hearing, you know, like, and that's why it's tricky. Now let's go to Freaky because that one was about to. I was like blushing, like I had Alex here, Alexandra, and I was like, I don't know. She just came in on one of the ones I was talking. I was like, listen to this, that baby making music.
Sweet lady, we should spend lately, baby. You've been on my mind, telling other niggas that you're mine tonight. Cause they treat you wrong, so I'ma do you right. Promise to make you wet before you come to life. I have you squatting down like when you exercise. I know you love me, baby. I see it in your eyes. So bring your body so we can get free. Nice and slow, free, get
I was like DJ Quick ass.
get free, get your hair, free, get smack, get free, get free, get like that.
Go, let's sleep with mommy.
It's been a long time since I had you at my house, you know. Watching TV, but never on the couch, you know. That one show you showed me about, had me laying down, holding you until I knocked out. I'm mesmerized by the looks in your mouth and your love faces when I'm thinking you out. Me and you together was the top of the town. Just promise me your loyalty and hold me down. Yeah, you know how that go. I love it when you make your knees touch your elbows. You know how that go. I love it when you walk around wearing no clothes. It's a sight to see. Better yet, tonight you'll be my bite to eat. Show you what love is from your head to your feet. Whisper in your ear till you fall asleep. Come on, nights to me. Sweet lady, we should spend time.
I love you. I really thought I wasn't able to. I want to be perfect. I'm like, I want to be perfect.
That you're mine tonight, cause they treat you wrong. So I'ma do you right. Promise to make you pay before you come.
I don't even know about it.
I have you squatting down like when you exercise. I know you love me, baby. I see it in your eyes.
So bring your body so we can get free gay. Free gay. Free gay. Free gay. So we can get free gay. I don't know why I wanted to do that. I was in quarantine and I couldn't get no booty. That's what it was.
Did you just say choke your neck?
Choke your neck. You like that?
Look, that's gonna be another rabbit hole we're gonna have to go on next session. I think that our communities are missing out on conversations about BDSM, and not that I'm into that either. Not that I've gone heavy into it, but
it's. I think people do that when they want to feel good and they comfortable with you. I've had people take my hand and put it on their neck.
Yeah.
I did that shit before. I never did. And they had to tell me like you choking the wrong. Obviously, I never did it before. You know what I mean?
And
thing. So it's. I think it's a trust thing, and I'm for sure down to go down that. I did it one time, and the chick called. I was like, oh shit.
Yo, it gets real. Those conversations about that get real deep, and that's like. So I personally would have been called. I'm like vanilla, what they call vanilla. Like I'm not in like. And when I was working, testing people for HIV and STDs, I'd get into their sex life, and I was like, man, you guys were all doing this. Like, this is what you guys be doing. And in the white community, and I'm sure this in the Black community, Latino community, but in the white community, they are much more open to like getting tied up, getting blindfolded, there's different hitting with, how they got the dominatrix and all that, the dominant, submissive, the role playing. And one thing that I was thinking about was that I feel that if we had more conversations about that, not about saying whether it's right or wrong or indifferent, but people, for instance, role playing can be a great tool for people in a relationship when they're not compatible. Because this is like, for instance, some people want to feel pain during sex, and it's a way of them getting a release. So if they're angry people and they're frustrated, you can role, and then the other person might not be into that, but you can role play situations where that person can release that frustration or whatever through sex without having to unconsciously create an argument that then they want to have rough makeup sex. You know what I mean? So after being exposed to people talking in that language for so long, I was like, something, we ought to be having these conversations in our community more than what we're having it. Because there's space for people to find sexual healing. I'll use it, sexual healing, through role play, so for instance, like the blindfold and the choking, those are all sensory experiences. So like you can get dark, you can't see, or you feel physical pain, you put food on somebody, some whipped cream. You see, so these are people that are they're manipulating the senses to enhance the sexual experience. Daddy. And a lot of times, I grew up, yes, baby, go tell Jaden. Because I grew up in a religious home, sex is taboo to talk about. So I didn't really get information about how your senses can enhance, how thinking about your senses can enhance your sexual experience, to the point where you can incorporate all the senses and role play and become a whole different identity in the matter, Yeah. And then if you can have conversations like that and be in agreement with your partner, then you can find healing. Now, where it gets really controversial is when there's sexual abuse and trauma in someone's history, and the there's role playing that can make it worse or can make it better. Or like, for instance, like someone who wants to get physically hit because maybe they didn't feel like physical touch when they were young, right? Like, so like, would you be cool with that? It's like, I don't know, like, am I like enabling you? Like, do I want to hit you? Like,
no, that's real shit. Cause like, so when I did, I went soft. Right. Like, I was knee deep. And then I think too much while I'm doing it because my thought, the process is pleasure. Like, yo,
yeah,
like, do you, but like don't be a savage. Like, motherfuckers just be like, nah, I ain't trying to make love. I'm trying to make you feel good. You know what I'm saying? And like, so I hear you. And if that was that, like, I need this, like, I didn't know how to give it. And I was like, damn, I fucked my whole shit up. Because we was going to town. And
the thing is, it's, and then sometimes it's unconscious, right? Because we're all just living through life. But based on my conversations, you can make correlations between people who have had some trauma in sexual abuse, and then that affects their sexual expression, whether they want more physical or whether they're very detached from it, or whether they want to role play situations to counter the abuse. And I think that's where the concept of sexual healing comes in. And it's something that the church doesn't address. And I don't blame them for not addressing it, because it's a complicated road to travel. But it's a very real thing. It's a very real thing. And then you wonder why some women will be in these relationships with these men that are abusive, right? And then I always say, is like, I wonder what they're saying when they're having sex, because that's when you can cast spells, you know what I mean? Like, think about how powerful the word is. And then when you're saying, that's mine, right? You're telling an abusive man, that's mine. And he's saying, that's mine too. Or and then you're using these powerful words and an emotional, and then they can't break up. They are sexually attached to each other, and then they can't escape that. And then it looks like it's just a sex thing, but it's deeper. It's, but yeah, I think that, that BDSM, that's, and I'm not in the scene. And then, there are people in the scene that can speak on it, you know, with the correct words or from a different angle. I'm just speaking from basics, and I think basics are enough, because it's like it's sensory, right? It's sensory, and then
And yeah, we can save this conversation for later because like I could go down my own rabbit hole with it. 'Cause, like it's like even in terms of like, and I'll end it with this one. Like at the end of the day, certain a lot of dudes don't like their butt touched, right? If your partner is touching your butt, what issue should you have with your partner touching your butt? Just touching it. I ain't talking about. It could be either clothed or unclothed. What do you? Why are you so hyper masculine that you think your butt? You think your partner's going to get you? Trying to take something away from you?
right,
Like you know what I mean? So it's like if we even that if we extract the heteronormal normalities or normalities out of sex, and I think you're kind of naming that, but it's not in the same sense.
yeah,
But if
yeah.
we would take that out and we talk, we could have a conversation with somebody who is hetero that has no limits to how he explores versus to somebody that is hetero that has a lot of limits like to how he explores. Who do you think is having the most fun? The hetero dude that has no limits to how he explores sex. Like that's all. Because it's the same shit you're saying. I understand the sensory pieces of it. I understand all the feelings of it, wherever it may be. And like that shit probably just explosive for everybody. But how we view sex and where we put sex in the taboo side of things, and so we don't talk about it. We say missionary, doggy style, oral, a little bit of foreplay, depending on what you do. And that's what we just think the sex is. You see what I'm saying? You know,
Missionary even got a religious connotation to it, like missionary, like.
so it's like I hear you and I feel you because like there is other ways of doing things that we haven't explored because one, they could be dangerous too. That shit probably just fucking weird. You know what I mean? But three, like I want to add that layer of like someone who is very sensual, as they would say, or sexual. I think there is no boundary or limit to them, you know, exploring that very sensual side because like I need, what is it, like dopamine, serotonin, or whichever one that happens to sex.
Oxytocin, I think this.
Oxytocin, there you go.
But probably all of them, because oxytocin responds you. Yeah, you getting high, all of them.
So you're hitting one, you feel me? You're hitting one of those while somebody's literally hitting three, or all three in spurts, or all three at once. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like we got to take the taboo-ness off of that too, because as much as I'm champion and like, you know, saying shit, I'm only gonna fit in that one category. I'm not gonna even lie. My vulnerabilities, I got too much fear to say, you know what, let's try something different. And I know this might be weird for you, it's gonna be weird for me, but trust it. I know you got me. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna be real. Like I'm not there yet. Don't know if I ever will be. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm okay with that. Like, you know, but like understanding that level of sensuality and like those folks that connect to it, man, it's like I said, they got it 17 different ways while I'm sitting here with my one way of doing things, talking about, man, that's probably a better way to do things sometimes. But
and I think it all levels out, you know, it all levels out because each of us have strong points and weak points that cause us to like, because those experiences come with some consequences, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could be chasing that high. You know, and this is where like you got women that are chasing that high, or you got men that are chasing that high, and then now you're going back three dudes or three women trying to chase a high that you can't recreate, you know. You know, or men paying for it.
That was real sad. That was real sad too, because like that's like I've been in situations. Well, you know what? Let me use the bathroom right quick, cause like I drank 3 bottles of water.
Go ahead. And we can wrap it up because we coming up on 3.
Wait, we gotta kill the 9 minutes, man. At this point.
Yeah. Go ahead. Hidden track number 3, D Steezy. I wish it was named. We're gonna have to name it. Is this round around? I see.
I thought it was meant to be. Now I'm sitting here drunk with this pain and these memories. I stay so you can leave. Now I'm sitting on my trunk with this flame and some Hennessy. You tried to make sense to me, but I couldn't get past all the bad and the victory. All I knew was to keep it G. I knew it wouldn't last. Now I'm sad and sickening. Damn.
Whew. Everybody keep telling me to expand that verse right there.
Yeah. Like I said in one of the reviews, when I'm a fan. I like them all. Like, I could find the time to hear all of them.
I make some pretty cool music. I like it. I'm a man. So, oh man, where we at? So I was gonna say something about some, yeah, we can say we still got a whole sex conversation on the Real Talk Show. Hidden track 1 and hidden track 2 and hidden track 3 is the same person that's singing on the first track, which is Real Talk. And yeah, and on Stay. Except those were tracks she had on my computer that had no verses to it, but I just wanted to keep writing, so I wrote to them. So those are her tracks that I just hopped on that aren't mine. So that's why I say hidden tracks. There's no official name to it. Okay. Like those singing pieces was her ideas. The rap part was just literally my idea to what she was talking about. Me trying to make sure my pen is getting better. When you listen to 2 Braids, when you listen to I'm Bleeding, when you listen to Where I'm From, when you listen to those songs specifically are the songs I was gonna drop. I was dropping monthly on like SoundCloud, not SoundCloud, it's iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, because those songs were my attempt at making quality music, like radio quality music, like a single, like, you know what I mean? Within this project time. So this project, again, the beginning of the coronavirus, like staying at home till December. Now I'm gonna keep it going until this shit get lifted, right? This is me just trying to get better. Oh, Appetite, there you go. Appetite, 2 Braids, I'm Bleeding, Where I'm From. Where I'm From is the official track that still hasn't even dropped yet. I ain't even put that out yet. I have another one called Hating that's gonna come out that is similar. It's gonna be an end of the month drop.
Second, baby. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm back. Daddy duty.
No problem.
All right, go ahead.
So, so Appetite, I'm Bleeding, where I'm from, in Two Braids are my attempts at making radio singles. Like singles, like I think people just gonna always fuck with. The other songs, like Nigga Please was produced by a very psychedelic dude. I think you'll love this, man. And then on top of this, the majority of these beats with Flora on them actually are so real throwaways. My own in-house producer. LA Vibes is an attempt at me singing a certain song a certain way because of a rendition of another song. So I didn't have time to really like figure it out. But on the other songs you hear me singing, I was able to figure that out. But that song specifically, because I love the beat so much, I want to get it right. I can never be satisfied. And I re-recorded it the night before I released it. So I don't like LA Vibes, but it's there. But because I could always simply correct it and upload it. So I'm not tripping, like it's there. I want to get that one right for real. But so it's like me learning how to sing, me learning how to sing in auto-tune, or me just learning how to write. Not only that, it's telling the story. All these songs are telling the story in a specific way I wrote them. Like that's what's crazy about it too.
I remember when I was first hearing it, I felt like LA Vibes came before Appetite. Like I was like
that's not singing on Appetite.
Huh?
Did it?
What I meant by before was like if it flowed into it, like if they were together of some sort. I don't remember why though.
No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I see what you're saying. If you tell that story that way, it makes sense.
Story, yeah.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. But no, I might try to consider that and work that around. Like, you know what I mean? That makes sense. Because at one point I was trying to figure stuff out like that. Like, oh, well. But again, it's the way I wrote the tracks.
Yeah.
That the story kind of is weird that I just chunked them together like that and it makes sense. But if you feel like that makes sense more to add that there, I have no problem doing that because it makes sense. I think I just have to. It's funny because I put Freaky after Two Braids, but Two Braids was my legit attempt at making a radio hit. That one's so damn corny, like you have to love it, and it's dope.
Two Braids.
That one, I want to push and correct. Somebody should bite for that song. Like some record label should bite for that song.
Who's is Uriel the Light? Someone on your label?
Nah, it's the homie singing. But I also released a clean version too, just so that I think that shit is very kid friendly too when you listen to it. Your face. Top down underneath,
His flow is pretty dope too. It got, I don't know if that's a West Coast vibe or what you would call like, but it was dope.
I wrote the majority of it. Whole record. So it's a lot, and I thought about it. I'm gonna do my own article about this shit. Cause like, there's so much into this shit from my perspective. Like you'd be like, damn. And it doesn't require an interview. It needs to be an article, so you get a piece by piece breakdown.
All you need is 2 braids, girl, 'cause that's what I like. The way your edges lay down perfect makes me feel mesmerized. Even though it's only 2, I love when you take your time. You could rock them plain and simple, you could add a design. However you wanna rock them, I will never get tired. I like the way you let them hang and how you leave the ends tied. The way they hang down in the front and you that hair flip I like. It not your hair that's in the front or to the back of your spine. I like
2 braids, 2 braids. Don't I really love that 2 braids? Where them 2 braids show your face, where the sunshine on your face, your face, your face. Top down underneath sun rays. Look around, you could be my main thing. All I really want is you, babe, you, babe, you, babe. We can meet up on a weekday. Go ahead, let us see a movie. Then we can head back to my place, my place, my place. Everything you need to in the day.
Like everything ends up in some in your place. You calling and you're like, yo, come back to my place.
That's them, yo. No weed and Chardonnay, that's them. I kept trying to leave all that shit out. I noticed I write clean too. Like I might say nigga. I don't really cuss when I write. Like I noticed that.
gives me a vibe. You could rock 'em with the weed dreads, natural, it's just guys. You could rock 'em with blue jeans, sweatpants, or just with ties. You could rock 'em at the
And this song,
you hit the club
I
at
really
night.
recorded
However you wanna rock
24 hours.
That what?
24 hours we recorded this song. We wrote it. That was it. That's why I love this song.
I think that the title's dope. The Rona Project is like, you know, 2020. Like, can't nobody forget Corona. You know what I mean? Like, this is like a BC type thing. Like before Corona, after Corona.
Yep. That's why I'm trying to do a 3-piece. This one was kind of like, it started like before, but then like it happened. The second one, which is gonna come out this year, I want to be like, yo, it's here. This is what's going on. Then the third one, I'm hoping like the post. And once it's post, that's when I'm gonna be developed as an artist to give you some raw, it's like some cold shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cold shit. Yeah, but I know it's late on your end.
Yeah.
This is the real talk show.
The real talk show where we talk about friendship, love, and purpose. Today we've been focusing on love and friendship. See, like I have them boxed up, and it's like it doesn't like love doesn't necessarily mean sex, and I've said that a couple times.
Yeah,
I like that comes out of it. But yeah, and then they're all connected. Love, purpose, they all connected. But it's been good. It's been real. I really appreciate you coming on, and you know, look, like we could talk forever, always. And then I really have enjoyed having your project out, because like, so look, I've been bouncing between you and my son. Look, I'll play one out for him, and that'll be the outro.
Oh yeah, make sure you send that to me. Oh, he got music too?
Yeah.
Oh, let's get it.
Yeah. Look, all this is him. He be in his feelings too, so I'm just trying to see which one I want to play. Let's see.
Let's get it.
All right. Well, look, Stuck in a Dream. Let's see what that one's about. And he likes to do most of his stuff too, but some like
He makes his own beats.
he does that too, yeah. Not all of them, but he. be in his feelings.
Gotta be. It's the best you've ever done in life.
Smoking perk, feeling hurt. If I had your love, it would put me in the dirt. Is this really love, or is this a curse? Leaning off that syrup, or as I call it syrup, 8 shots in my brain. If I go insane, diamonds on my chains, diamonds on my face. Try to say my name, she love me to my veins. She know I don't play games, and I don't fuck with the lane. I'm screaming hallelujah, cause I'm still alive. All the drugs I take to numb, the tears I let cry. You play me just for fun. How to realize now you wanna come back. Wanna switch sides, how to let go of the hate. Now I'm feeling great, ain't tatted on my face. No, it ain't fake, I think people can relate. The struggle that I face, trying to get myself to heaven, but there's so many gates. Just know that you're not alone. Even if you feel alone, you're not alone. Just know you're not alone. Even if you feel alone, you're not alone. Always kept it real. Shawty, what's the deal? Tell me how you feel. I just wanna know, cause I'm feeling you right now. Party all night, me and you with the lights down. I'm feeling on you when you feeling me right now. Shawty's so fine, baby girl is my wife now. Yeah, baby girl is my life.
That shit hard.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of his.
I like the trophy show. That shit was tight.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Yeah. So he does music, and like it's about building momentum. So he's been recording forever, and I could really appreciate his journey.
Yeah, you can tell. That's funny. I've been on a journey, but not as a journey as solidified as that. And that's what I appreciate about music. Yeah, I like it.
I'll play
I'm
another
gonna check
quick
out the
one
video.
where you can see a video. So he likes to do his own videos. So But yeah, so like one thing that has happened like with the Real Talk Show, like during the holidays, Alex and I haven't been connecting so much because she got things going on. So then I've been coming on, and then like that when you dropped the album, I went all in on your album that New Year's Eve, and then I was like, yeah, this is dope. So then I'll bounce from one of his songs to one of your songs, and he be talking about love. So like I tie it into what we talking about. So I've been having fun doing that, and I'm thinking like moving forward, even in general, like as you make more music and then you got people, like it would be dope to just keep tying. Like that could be our commercials. Like, oh, let's listen to a song, and it'll give us cues, talk about it, and keep going from there. But yeah, I've been appreciating it though. So
I appreciate the love and support, and I appreciate his music too. Like, yo, I want to connect, I want to work. We could do a whole project together. Like, I think that would be dope. we could do that. Like I really think that would be dope.
Yeah,
I like
I'm
challenging myself to creativity, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna put him onto your music, and yeah, like he works. Like he be getting in the zone, and he'll like he got a lot of stuff. But he likes his songs that like shorter songs. You have to hear it. Like he's been going through a journey, and the journey includes drugs. That's part of it. So he's been coming out of like some of those rougher points, but he still talk about it. I'm old school in some ways where I'd be like, yo, like you got a responsibility, like what you talking about. But I'm a fan. I'm a fan though. I'm a fan. I love his story. And he's 20, he's about to be 21. He's a young guy, and he's been through a lot. Like he's been like he's been trying to make it on his own, so to speak. He doesn't want my help. He's trying to make it. So I really respect his journey. So yeah, y'all definitely gonna have to connect. You're gonna have to. It'd be dope. It'd be dope. But yeah, D Steezy, it's been good. Peace, deuces. Hasta mañana.
Next time on the Real Talk Show.
That's right. This has been an All Ages Alliance production.